anyway. And we'll talk about some of the stuff that happened in the game last night, because I do think even the running back end of it, but the more I look at this game, I think the right back, because of the loss to the Jags, they're right back in the same damn spot they were 2 weeks ago. We should have the same energy for this game, Gold, as we did against the Ravens. It feels must win. It feels huge. It feels like the kind of game you need to get against the Ravens. And if they do, we'll be saying the same thing we did against the Ravens against the Lions, Gold, and we'll be like, okay, take a breath. It's okay. Things are fine. And if they lose, had they lost that Ravens game, obviously they won by a wide margin. Had they lost that game, Gold, we'd have come in on Monday and been like, there are real problems. They now have 4 losses if they lose this game to the Lions. They're behind the 8 ball. It feels like this game should have the exact same energy as that Ravens game. Because remember, at that time, we still thought the Ravens were decent. We didn't think they were a laughingstock yet.
No, but
we know the Lions are good.
But we knew the Ravens' defense wasn't any good.
We didn't know that.
We didn't think they were going to be a 1-4 football team struggling to make the postseason or something like that. But you're right. I mean, the Lions win or lose this game on Sunday. Nobody's viewing the Lions all that differently. I mean, the Lions are going to be a playoff team. The Lions are going to
be one of those teams in the NFC.
They're going to contend as one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFC. Their game against the Packers week 1 was the one where everybody was panicking, and then we found out the Packers are pretty darn good. And we also have since seen their offense without Ben Johnson still take off and be as explosive as any
in football. Be the number 1 offensive football.
Yeah, averaging 35.8 or whatever it is points per game. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. There will be no moving the goalposts if the Chiefs go out there and win Sunday.
Oh, no.
And the offense looks good, which to me I don't think they can win without the offense looking good. If that happens on Monday, I don't think anybody will be able to do mental gymnastics to talk the win down, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, and I don't disagree with you, but that goes for the negative too. Gold, they have lost every single game they've played this year against winning teams. The 2 teams they have beaten now have a combined 3 wins. Thanks, Giants, for juicing up the stats a little bit. All of a sudden, not so. It's easier to lose to the Giants than you maybe want to give credit for.
They're just
because seeing how the Chargers have lost to them, and now the Eagles have lost them. You're right; they are significantly different. How about Russell Wilson in that game for 1 point last night and getting booed?
They booed him.
That's ice cold, man.
It is.
That's cold.
It is. They booed him so quick. But also, I mean, you saw Brian Daboll. He couldn't stand just seeing 2 plays again of Russell Wilson. He's out here yelling at the team doctor. That's how much he can't stand Russell Wilson. That Jackson Dart clearly was being evaluated for a concussion, which means there was an independent neurologist involved.
Yeah.
And you got Brian Daboll yelling at the doctor, thinking it's taking too long, which is a bad look, but whatever.
Schefter already announced this morning, by the way, that they're having an independent evaluator taking a look at the concussion protocol and how it was handled. I mean, you can't yell at the doctor.
He did go up and, I guess, apologize right there on the sideline. But
you can't
on
yell at the doctor.
on camera, you're complaining that it's taking too long. What's the doctor? That guy's doing his job as well.
Schefter said NFL had initiated a review of the application of the concussion protocol involving the Giants quarterback Jackson Dart last night against Philadelphia Eagles. A review will be conducted jointly with the NFLPA under parties' collective bargaining agreement. But so, no, I really do think – I hate that they put themselves in this position. I wanted this game. It just makes me more mad about the Jags game on Sunday and the way they let that game slip away for 1,000 different reasons. The penalties, the pick six, the little things that went wrong to let you give the game away that you were up 14-0 in and, had firm control and then let it slip it away, because this game could have felt like either they're back or they're still figuring some things out, but they're a good football team. And now it feels like they're in real trouble. They lose this game, Gold. The emphasis on the 3 games after this, all including they got 2 games at home, then they're going to have the Bills. Everything will be absolutely pressure-packed the rest of the way. No screwing around against the Raiders, that's for damn sure. But then you got 2 good opponents right after that. And so if you can win this game, there's more flexibility in that stretch we mentioned yesterday on the schedule where you can find some wins, find some losses, and just while you're trying to sort it out, stabilize a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure is on after this week, but it's on Sunday night. I mean, I think how the Chiefs approach this game, they're coming off a loss, as we all know, to Jacksonville in a game where they dominated. They gave the game away. They made way too many mistakes late in that one. You've got one of your leaders in Chris Jones taking a lot of heat because of how he performed in the final play. You got Harrison Butker, again, I'll still say, one of your leaders that have been important throughout their dynasty run that made a mistake again. You have Patrick Mahomes, who's played great, but he had a very crucial mistake, 99-yard pick six. You have some of your most influential players that did not have their finest moments necessarily on Monday Night Football. Now this team is below 500 again, and it's Arrowhead at night. It's Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a great atmosphere. You know what the Lions are capable of, and as I told you, I think we have seen time and time again throughout this run that typically these are the games where Mahomes is at his best. I would argue these are the games where Chris Jones has a bigger impact. When the necessity to win, right, and the urgency is there, typically they play well. And if tonight, Sunday night, they do not have that urgency, then that's another sign that this is just not the same organization as far as the team in 2025 as they have been in the past. Because typically, I know how they're going to respond Sunday night. Typically, this is
at home, big-time game. This was Mahomes goes for 403.
Yes, this is the spot where they go out and they have their most points of the season. They go out and they score 35 points.
And they win 35-20, and they win, and they put a stamp on this thing.
In the past, that's what would happen on Sunday. We'll see if that occurs, but that's what would happen in the past. Now, the Worthy injury is a huge part of this, too, I'll admit. If Xavier Worthy's not playing, well, then this better be a defensive performance as good as it gets on the season for them to win, because to me, I don't think they can get to 31, 35 points without Xavier Worthy.
No, I don't think. I mean, if they can, well, then the offense is really back, Gold, and we don't even need to have a conversation. Mahomes is just dialed in, and we're all good to go. Because I will say, that Jags game, and I know that the Jags don't have the best pass rush. I will, again, point out, the Jags came into that game with the fourth best points per game defense, the number one takeaway defense in the NFL. They had played good defense so far on the season. And the Chiefs made it look easy. Mahomes just felt like, I think, like in his bag, right? Like he wasn't thinking about it. He was making throws. He was making every throw up until, and maybe even after, the Devin Lloyd interception. Everything was nearly perfect for him. So, yeah, I do think, and look, I'll be honest, if Worthy's not playing, my optimism for this game on Sunday night definitively goes down.
I would be interested to see.
They got a great pass rush there in Detroit.
They do. I'd be interested to see what happens to the line. You know, the Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. If Xavier Worthy's out, how much does it move? Now, it never moves as much as you think. A wide receiver's not worth 5 points or something, okay, even though it feels that way. I know we're talking as if he basically is. They can't get to 35 without him or whatever, 31 without him. But, you know, quarterbacks like Mahomes, I can't remember the latest number. He is actually in the betting world worth like 7 points or six points. I can't remember what it is this year. At one point it was that high. Maybe it's lower now because
Worthy's probably worth 1.
Yeah, right, at most, you know, based on the betting market. So if Worthy was out, the Chiefs would still be favorites for the game. The line's not going to shift 3 points because Xavier doesn't play. But it is definitely going to have major impact on the flow of this game as well. I'm curious where you guys are at on just your confidence going into this game. Because you're right, the Ravens comparison going in, it is a similar spot, but I think we all recognize this Detroit team. There is no 8 starters going to be out. There is no limitation with their offense. The only thing that I'll be curious to see is how Spags approaches Jared Goff, because they have played Jared Goff before. They played this Lions team, as we know, at Arrowhead a couple years ago in the opener. They lost. They didn't have Travis Kelce or Chris Jones, or Kelce was coming off that injury. And Chris Jones was working on a contract up in the press box or up in the suites and things like that. Jared Goff is a statue in the pocket. So now he handles the blitz well. So how does Spags go about that? You don't have to worry about spying. You don't have to worry about Trevor Lawrence running right in the middle of your defense for 15 yards. None of that.
There's not a world where he regularly scrambles, even the way Trevor Lawrence
Jared Goff at most is going to have like a 5-yard run randomly in this game. I mean, but that is it.
Yeah,
all right?
He's going to be standing.
They'll do a QB sneak with them or something like that. That's about it. So he'll have a rush attempt or two, but you're not worried about his mobility. So that's one, I guess, advantage that you have if you feel like the Chiefs have gotten burned by quarterbacks running the ball this year. That won't be in play this go-around on Sunday night.
No, I don't think so. But also, I was trying to decide. We talked about the Jags and some of the defensive stuff last time and how that matched up, Gold, and all this other stuff. The Lions feel like a tough matchup for the Chiefs. not just because they're a good team and they'd be a tough matchup on anyone, but because what the Chiefs do well, use their corners, blitz this stuff. Goff is really good against the blitz. Goff has got weapons to take advantage of some of the corner issues. The Chiefs have had really good offensive line play this year. The Lions are in a position that they take advantage of it. The only matchup that I think, ooh, look, maybe the Chiefs can take advantage of that is the Lions' secondary is hurt, and the Chiefs have weapons. But that requires, the thing you had mentioned before, that requires Xavier Worthy being available for this game. If you told me they had their full complement of weapons with the injuries the Lions have right now, I'd be feeling pretty good on the secondary. And I'd be like, you know what? Pass rush could be negated because they can get rid of the ball quick, put it in the hands of Kelsey and Rice and Worthy, and we have something going and take advantage. But because right now, until we find out more about Worthy, it's Tyquan is the one, and Hollywood, it doesn't. And again, that is way better than any point last year when they were like in the early part of the season or 2 years ago. So I'm not saying they can't like get by, but it's not the same, you know?
No, and they've had a couple games without Worthy. If that's the case, it's not the same as 3 plays in losing Xavier Worthy like they did in the Chargers game. But I would say, well, what's the target look like for Hollywood Brown if in fact they go into this game without Worthy? He had in the opener, he ended up getting targeted 16 times because everything was thrown out the window. So what's their plan? This to me would be the week. And I know we've been saying it for 2 weeks now. If Worthy's out, this is why Brashard Smith should have an even bigger role in the offense. I need an extra receiver, essentially. Well, guess who used to be a receiver in college who would be coming out of the backfield and creating mismatches? Brashard Smith. He's electric when the ball is in his hand.
Yeah, he is.
So if Worthy's out, I would like them to use Brashard Smith in kind of in a similar role. I'm not saying they need to be necessarily doing jet sweeps all day with Brashard Smith, although I wouldn't mind seeing them get creative, put Brashard Smith in the slot, and have him come across on an end-around or something.
Or just like have him like work against a linebacker over the middle. He doesn't have to be. If he's good in open space and he's been the better break tackle guy, I think they're going to have to be more I think they're going to have to be more creative in this game. And this goes back to, like treating it like a division game like Nate Taylor said. I think you got to get in your bag. You got to if you're Andy, you got to pull out all the stops. You really, really do. You got to find the angles, the things you haven't shown, and you got to try to attack this defense in some really creative ways.
I mean, I do think, again, in spots like this, typically that is what happens. That's why, if you're asking why I think the Chiefs
are they
can
capable
win,
of it, though? Is it a different –
I know.
That's the question. Not that they're capable of not thinking of a plan. That is this team different than other teams?
Right.
This feels like a marker. I will, and maybe this is the topic on Monday because I'm pre-having it before. They lose to the Lions. I don't think this is the same team as they've been before. I don't think this is the same where we get 13 wins without even lifting a finger. And I know it's not
now,
that.
Context matters, as you would agree. Like, if the Chiefs lose, 35-34, I don't think you're saying, well, it's not the same team necessarily. You'd say, man, it's a hell of a football game and they lost. The offense still scored 34 points. Now, if the Chiefs lose in a game where the offense can't move the ball and they get zero pressure on Jared Goff and they clearly are outmatched, that's when I think I would agree with you. I think so context matters with it. But yes, it does feel like this is a typical spot where the best effort is there and the best game plan is there. That's what it's always been in the past. We'll see if that's the case on Sunday night.
The problem is that Gold, I don't know that context does matter for me. I don't care if it is 35-34. That'd be the third time this year.
Yeah, but it's
fourth
not the
time
same.
this year.
Yeah.
The Chargers game, they couldn't come through at the end. The Eagles game, they couldn't come through at the end.
They were playing behind in
this
the entire
game,
Chargers
the
game.
Jaguars, fine, we'll take the Chargers game out. That's 3 others, though, where it's close and it's too thin. It's right there and it's at your fingertips. Some teams have a better ability to close. I would just start to think that this is a team that doesn't have that ability, or doesn't have a strong ability in that department to do it, and so it's going to or department to do it. And so I'm just going to look at them differently if they lose this game more than I've just been not excuse making, but waiting for it all to trigger. And I understand the injuries and all the other stuff. They had a lot of injuries last year, and they still managed to be that team.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
largely that
I'm just
team.
saying I would agree with your assessment if the Chiefs were to get their ass kicked on Sunday night. Well, then Monday it's very clear this is just not the same team, and all those conversations can exist. If Mahomes throws for 350 and 3 touchdowns, and it's a shootout with Jared Goff, not to the 50-point extent that we saw many years ago.
Well, I'd be real worried about the defense if it's 55-54.
But you'd feel
Lions.
great. You'd feel great about the offense, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I feel so terrible about the defense. I don't know if I could enjoy it.
Yeah. And then there's also like the odd storyline too, as someone on the text line brings up, which is Patrick Mahomes, for whatever reason, that's a quarterback, Jared Goff, that he's 0-2 against or whatever. There's weird stuff like that. And one of those included the game I'm referencing, where you lose in the 50s. And I can't remember the stat around that game. It was something like teams that scored over 50 previously were like 400 and something. And I don't know the exact number. You get my point.
Yeah, because most games aren't in the 50s.
Yeah,
between both teams.
I don't think we're going to get that on Sunday, but I do think it's a shootout. I do think it's a shootout.
I'll say that will be a stressful moment if that's what takes place there. It just will be, because you'll have to question. And look, we'll have questions about the defense if that's the way the game goes, even if in a win. If it's 40-38 Gold or 41-40, we'll have to talk about the defense again, despite the fact they are the number one scoring offense in the NFL. So giving up points to them is okay. They are still holding teams below their season average. They're very good about that. Overall, the only team who scored more than their season average, I think, so far this year is the Chargers. And that game we've explained away for a lot of reasons, completely unraveled for the Chiefs a million different ways, Gold, in which they looked completely opposite in the way they did. Versus the other games I mentioned where they lost close, they didn't look out of sorts. They looked out of sorts for sections of it, but it's not like at no point they didn't look like themselves against the Eagles and these other teams. So, just all part of the thing. Meanwhile, in the Thursday night game last night, how about you? I don't know about you guys. I can't wait to watch 4 tush pushes in a row. I mean, whoo, what a treat for us, man. I mean, isn't that exactly what you tune in for a football game on Thursday night against 2 division rivals? Watch one guy get shoved half a yard.
It's ridiculous.
4 times in a row. It's insane. Come on, we got it. We got to stop this. It's nonsense.
Here's a good thing. It happened again in primetime television, and it was 4 straight plays, and it's gotten to the point where I think, other than Philadelphia fans, everybody universally is finally to the point where, all right, either you don't like it because it's boring. Okay, that's one reason. Maybe you disagree with that being the reason why it should be banned, but that's one reason. 4 straight plays. We're watching rugby at that point. It's terrible. The second and most important, and the part that I think everybody can get on board with other than an Eagles fan,
it's not officiated correctly.
If they cannot officiate the play, then you can't let them run the play. Once again, we saw the right guard in particular on 2 instances during that 4-play stretch of tush pushes jump early. And yeah, I know it was slow-mo.
I know it's a microsecond. I'm sure
I don't
it's
care.
very close.
The NFL said that the officials, it was a point of emphasis after that Chiefs game. They haven't called it any different.
They didn't mean it.
They didn't do anything. So, okay, just get through this season, couple more months of it, guys, and in March, when the league meetings take place, they will ban this thing. We will never see it again. It'll be done. Couple more months of it. There's no chance it doesn't get banned at this point in time. And I know people have other ideas of how to fix it. I think Carrington tweeted last night. I saw it. It's not a terrible idea. He said, what if you only allow them to do it on 4th downs? Yeah, but if they cannot officiate it correctly, then it can't even still be a 4th down
Then they're
play.
just going to false start the one time and still take advantage of it. It would be successful even if they did it correctly. But this is the part that kills me. This is now like the 3rd primetime game that we've watched the tush push become part of the story of the game. Hell, Gold. The only disappointing in that game last night is had the Eagles won, it would have been a much bigger part of the story and conversation. But instead, everyone's waking up being like, how about Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo? Ooh. They got buried because it didn't become the main story versus a game like the Chiefs one where Jawan Taylor false started and they wouldn't shut up about it. Again, Jawan Taylor was committing a penalty. I'm fine with him calling him for the penalty. He needed to make an adjustment. Why isn't the NFL? I don't even care if they get it wrong every once in a while. Let's even the stakes a little bit, and if you think someone moved, throw the flag. It's not a legal play half the time they're running it. And so you got to throw the flags more, but also just watch that sequence. And tell me, for a league that does everything to change rules in order to increase offense, make football more enjoyable, it's just – I just think from we change things all the time in sports for the entertainment part of it. Right? That's why baseball went to a pitch clock. We change things all the time for entertainment, not like the good of the game or it's 4 times in a row. 4 times in a row.
And during
just not even worth it.
And during that 4-game sequence, 4-play sequence, there was an injury on the Giants defense, so that gets into the injury conversation as well. There's a lot of reasons, more than ever, why that play is going to get banned in the offseason. Someone said, why not make it reviewable, the false start? Well, then you get to the point, do we want false starts starting to be reviewable? I don't.
That's so many.
I don't. Cause
I don't think people challenge them very often, but they probably, honest to God, if they made false starts reviewable, that would borderline be the only one that anyone challenged on. Because it's always like on 4th and inches, or it's always on 4th and goal, or 3rd and goal. It might be the only time anyone challenges.
I don't think you like that, because then you get into the illegal formation game. I mean, because we see it, whether it's Jawan Taylor or others, guys line up off the line of scrimmage too far all the time. All the time. They don't call it all the time. So you run into that. I don't think it needs to be reviewable. I just think simply the league has shown they can't officiate it. Okay, congrats. The Eagles have found a major advantage, a play where they're allowed. Let's just call it like it is. Maybe not in the way that the Patriots were, but it's still a form of cheating. They have found a way they can cheat and not get caught. Good for them. It's working. It's helping them win Super Bowls as well.
Well, if I were them, I would definitely still do it.
And they will continue to do it the rest of this year, as they should, as I would as well. And then at the end of the year, they will ban this thing, and we'll be done with it.
How much different is it than the QB sneak, though, in terms of like false starting? Like, I'd be curious to look at QB sneaks, just regular QB sneaks. How many times is the offensive line jumping before then, too? Because it's not.
I don't know.
It's not, the play's not different from an offensive line perspective. It's just that we're maybe viewing this in such a light now because people don't like the play in general that we're nitpicking at stuff where maybe it happens on regular QB sneaks too, the false starting stuff.
But it's also like I've never seen anybody run 4 straight QB sneaks. So
well,
at some point it's just not an enjoyable thing to watch in addition to the false start. And this is the way it works. We talk about this like, Drew, to your point, this is the issue with this. And this is something the Eagles have to deal with. Jawan Taylor's not the only person who starts early. There are like 10 offensive linemen in the NFL who do, and I cannot emphasize this enough, exactly what he does by getting the jump early before the line starts. 10 guys in the league who do exactly. It's a coaching point for some teams. He's not the only man. They singled him out because he was the worst defender and because it was getting to be too often to be the case. If half the time they run the tush push, it's a false start, tough. You're guilty of it because you're the only team who does it, and if I can see half the time, it's a false start. I don't care if there are false starts in other plays. I'll deal with those plays later, I guess. Like, this is the same thing. There's a hold on every play, Gold, or there's a, there's a penalty on every play. But we can't just let one team commit it flagrantly in front of everybody and then also, it not be enjoyable football.
Yeah, I just think
combo.
I just think everybody understands that this is the last year of it now. I mean, I think even in Philadelphia, they know, all right, we best let's go take advantage of it this year because this is going to be it. A reminder, we are broadcasting live out at Community America Credit Union in Raymore. Their branch off 71 in Foxwood in Raymore. The tailgate gets going at 11 o'clock. It goes till 1. We've got a food truck out here, food for the first 100 people. Chiefs cheerleaders, KC Wolf, Chiefs Rumble, a chance to win Chiefs and Lions tickets. It's going to be a fun time for a couple hours out here at Community America Credit Union. Up next, let's talk a little college football, though. A huge game in the SEC tomorrow in Columbia, Missouri. The Tigers taking on the Crimson Tide. And we'll also take a look back at our season-long NFL predictions and see if we already look like idiots or not. That's next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Smokehouse Barbecue has always been our choice when it comes to barbecue in Kansas City. We love everything about Smokehouse Barbecue. And now Smokehouse has street tacos, their newest menu item. 3 flour tortillas, chopped burnt ends and smoked sausage, plus corn elote and Cajun sour cream and a side. And now, every Tuesday, kids eat for $1.99 with the purchase of an adult entree. So visit Smokehouse Barbecue in Gladstone, Zona Rosa, or Independence, and at smokehousebbq.com. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these great game day specials. 8 wings and a basket of tots for $12 plus $4 domestic OP cups. The other place, the next best thing to being at the game.
Don't become another lab-grown diamond victim. There are many reasons you will never see a lab-grown diamond for sale at House of Diamonds. You can learn a few of them online at mybigrock.com. Maybe a wholesale price or two as well. That's mybigrock.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
We're We're just getting started here on a Red Friday in Kansas City, broadcasting live from Community America Credit Union off of 71 in Foxwood in Raymore. Here in about a half hour, the tailgate gets going. Food truck is here, ready to roll at 11 o'clock. It'll be awesome to have some tacos throughout the day till 1 o'clock. A chance to see Casey Wolf, get your photo. Chiefs cheerleaders, also be a little performance from the Chiefs Rumble. And there's the big ATM right in front of us. That's where you want to go. You'll see the line eventually that'll form there. And there's for good reason. A chance to win some Chiefs-Lions tickets, some other swag as well heading into Sunday's game. We appreciate you guys that have texted in saying you're going to stop by, and you said, hey, you know what, you guys are in my neighborhood this go-around. So that's what's kind of fun with these Red Friday tailgates. We try to bounce around the city, different spots than we normally go to. We're going to be out in Blue Springs, actually, here in a couple weeks at the end of the month on Halloween. And that one I feel like, it's going to be like a Red Friday tailgate and a Halloween tailgate. Although Cody's costume suggestion yesterday is a no-go, I think, for that remote.
What about can I do like the Hamburglar?
Yes.
Burglar, but, for hamburgers, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, the more cartoon version and all that. I just don't think you cannot do the Chiefsaholic costume. Not when we're on remote.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Not in that circumstance.
Fine, we'll skip that. But come out and see us at Community America.
Yeah.
It really is. Free food. There's waters, there's drinks, and then, your chance to win Chiefs-Lions tickets. But they got swag for anybody who gets in the line for the big ATM. They give you that massive oversized debit card. It's a good time.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will also get to something we teased a few days ago on the show when Dusty was on remote somewhere, or at least making an appearance somewhere at Twin Peaks. Drew is the Twin Peaks guy as well. After a couple years ago, the video, and I believe we have the audio ready for later on in the segment.
He made one yesterday too, so we're going to get yesterday's and mine as well.
We're just going to compare. I think Drew said that he thought Dusty was just as uncomfortable as he was.
I think he's more cool, calm, and collected. But I
want to hear the audio comp between Drew and Dusty when they were both flanked by two wonderful employees of Twin Peaks. That's all. So we'll get to that. And, how else would you describe it? I mean,
it's accurate.
No, it is.
All right, let's talk a little college football. Missouri and Alabama, that's the headliner from the locals this week. And I know Kansas has Texas Tech. And
if they put up a fight there, we can have a whole new conversation with them on Monday.
Well, because then if they were to pull off that upset, the Big 12 race becomes real again for them. But let's talk MU and Alabama for a little bit here. This is a matchup that has major college football implications. We all know what Alabama did a couple weeks ago against Georgia. They also followed it up against Vanderbilt. Missouri, they have beat everybody on their schedule. You can only, that it's your schedule. You've been at home. It's been a schedule that sets up for first 6 games of the year, being at home and all that. And now you're starting to get into the tougher portion of the schedule. They already have pretty good odds to make the college football playoff at 3-1. They win this game. You're never a lock. Okay, it's college football. However, they will have an unbelievable path to getting to the college football playoff if they can pull off an upset. They're 3.5 underdogs at home. My question for Missouri in this game is going to be more so in the passing game defensively. And I understand they're top 10 in offense and defense. I think Bink was telling me last week, Drew, they're like the only team in the country that has that's ranked.
Number 16th in scoring defense overall. Top 25, I guess, maybe is what it is. And, yes, one of the better offenses in the NFL.
My concern for them in this game, how does their secondary hold up? And Bernard and Williams, the two receivers there for Alabama, to me, will be able to find some soft spots in that coverage, and that'll be the difference. Can Missouri keep those two wide receivers in check? If they can, I think offensively, Hardy, Prabula, I think they will have success. This is more about Missouri's secondary, to me, deciding the game.
This is what's really tough, because some of this is opponent-based. I think if you flip the name on the jerseys, we'd all agree that Missouri is the better football team. The better overall football team, in my opinion,
it's hard to say based
Missouri.
on the schedule.
Understand that. I totally get that, and that certainly adds an equation to it. And look, I'm not saying anything that we can't all look up, but Missouri ranks better than Alabama in a lot of categories, offensively and defensively. Right? And sure, some of that is the opponents they've played versus
Georgia and Vandy.
2 ranked opponents in a row. And look, Missouri's going to get their chance at Vandy too.
Oh, yeah.
That's on their schedule, so it's not like they're going to get to run away from them either. And so they'll have a chance to do that as well. But, genuinely, the way I look at this, and I guess I'd be curious to get your opinion, Drew, who watches more college football than me even, but I think Missouri's a better team, and they're at home. If this wasn't Alabama, but instead it was just like a really good year for Vandy or somebody else, I think, and they were ranked similarly to you, we'd be saying that Missouri should be expected to win this football game.
I mean, Alabama's quarterback's a legit Heisman candidate. I know we all think
Prebula is not.
I know we all think Prebula and Hardy should be, but they're not. Like in terms of the odds market. Now you go and you beat Alabama, and Hardy has a massive day against Bama.
We'll be there.
Well, then all of a sudden, I think the national conversation catches up to the local conversation.
I bet him when he was 50-1 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like optimistic that check's gonna cash. But at the time, the odds felt good enough that I felt like we had to take a chance. Drew, who do you actually think is a better football team? Can I start there?
Better football team? I think they're really even. I don't know if I'd pick one, but I'm picking Missouri to win this game because I think that being at home and being in the ruckus environment at Faurot Field is going to be an advantage. And I feel like Bo Prebula is just going to have one of those games. I think he needs to have a Johnny Manziel type of performance where he's just making plays left and right. I feel like he can do that. Like I know that obviously Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams are like the big go-to guys defensively. Missouri's 9th in the country in passing yards allowed per game. In terms of total defense, they only allow 198 yards per game, which is first in the country. So it feels like this is a matchup between big-time strengths, obviously, where Alabama traditionally this year has passed the ball effectively very well. As you mentioned, Gold, Ty Simpson, that's why he's second in the Heisman race right now. So, the matchups with Toriano Pride from Missouri on the outside in the secondary, and I think more importantly, the pass rush, like being able to get to Ty Simpson, and he is a runner. He can use his legs, but making him uncomfortable, I think, is a recipe for victory for Mizzou. To your point, Cody, about Ahmad Hardy, if he somehow gets to 100 yards against Alabama, he's on pace to have an Ashton Genty-type season, and doing it in the SEC should all but win him the Heisman if he keeps it up. So, I mean, if he gets to 100, then all of a sudden Ahmad Hardy's – I mean, his numbers and Mizzou wins, Ahmad Hardy's going to be up there. He's going to jump even more.
Go ahead. I was going to say, some of this is Gold. I think if they weren't Missouri, we'd talk about them different.
I agree because they didn't win these games last year.
If they were an SEC team that you knew.
Yes, if it was Auburn.
I meant nationally. If it was Auburn or Alabama or Georgia
Tennessee,
or Florida or LSU or Tennessee, we would talk about Missouri differently this year.
I agree.
Like they have, on paper, done everything you'd ask an SEC team to do so far.
So I don't disagree. Missouri can absolutely win this game. I will push back, though, on the, who's the better team thing going into the game. I would just say, ultimately, the schedule is going to end up being very tough for Missouri. I would argue it hasn't been all that tough yet. And so if you look at the reason why I keep pointing to the secondary of Missouri, while the numbers are good, they faced two teams, let's be real, two teams that can actually throw the football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, two teams, Kansas and South Carolina.
They gave up some points to Kansas.
In South Carolina, they won comfortably, but South Carolina still put up some points and had success through the air. So that would be my only pushback. And that's why, look, Missouri winning this game would not be a stunner. These are two very, very good teams. And again, if Missouri loses, they can still get to the College Football Playoff. It just means their margin of error is a lot slimmer. The atmosphere part, I have no doubt as well that it's going to be a great atmosphere in Columbia. I would push back on this, can they handle it? They've already played in Georgia. Earlier this year, Ty Simpson played at Georgia. All right?
And they won.
That's a pretty
they play in the SEC. They know how to play on the road.
That's a pretty good atmosphere.
I understand that, but it
we'll
doesn't. But I understand that, but it's not like it doesn't impact you. So I think that's also Caden Proctor is probably the best tackle in all of college football. I think as much as it is the secondary, it's can they put pressure on Ty Simpson and make him uncomfortable. I think that is the recipe to win. If Ty Simpson has time to throw back or to step back and throw, it's going to be really difficult for Missouri to stop Alabama. But if the collection of pass rushers who they've brought in, whether it's via the portal, whether it's recruiting, and all the plans that Corey Batoon has defensively, if they can put pressure on Ty Simpson, they absolutely can be, if not maybe even be favored to win this game if they can make him uncomfortable. So I don't know. It'll be really interesting because
be a good game.
Because I feel like Bo Prebula's got a little bit of Johnny football in him. It feels like he's got a little bit of that juice. Obviously, Ahmad Hardy is outstanding as well as he leads all the college football in rushing yards.
You want to make anybody want to make a friendly wager on this game? I can tell you the betting line. Missouri is 3.5-point underdogs. You said Missouri's going to win outright.
I think they win.
I think Bama's going to cover the 3.5.
Wow.
So where we want to make a little wager, a little lunch bet or something? We got to have something on this.
I think you're only doing this because you're a KU fan and you want to see Missouri lose.
Not at all.
I'm sure there's some of that, but also he thinks Alabama's going to cover the line.
In fair, if we're all being real, while I might be a Kansas grad, you would have to agree. My reasons for picking Alabama doesn't mean they're going to be right, but like they're legitimate reasons.
Well, yeah,
like,
I know.
How dare you pick Alabama to win?
They're legitimate reasons.
I
as you
understand.
gave some legitimate reasons why you think Missouri's going to win. Like,
I understand.
I didn't just say, oh, they're going to lose because it's typical Missouri. I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
I gave you some reasons I truly believe with Alabama. That's all. Anyway, we can work on it. I'm willing to make a lunch bet. We can figure it out a little bit later on. Thinking of predictions and everything, we're now heading into Week 6 of the NFL season, so I wanted to go back and look at how stupid we look already in some spots.
Some better than others.
I know some of you enjoy that listen. Like,
some better than others.
These idiots with their predictions. Season-long divisional and playoff picks.
Mostly just a good way to look at the NFL,
Well,
which is shockingly even in a lot of ways.
It really is. It really is. So here we go. AFC East.
I feel good. I chose the Bills.
We all took the Bills. Everybody's there. Unless somebody wants to think that all of a sudden you mentioned you thought the Patriots yesterday.
I think they have a chance, but
okay.
I said 20% chance.
All
I'd
right.
still choose the Bills to win the division.
So we're all
I just
good
didn't
there.
realize after I got a hold of the schedule that the Patriots actually have a chance to compete in the division. Nobody else. Everyone else exactly we thought they were a joke. Miami has 1 win. The Jets have 0.
AFC North. We all picked the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, you know what? Betting odds say they're still the favorite to win
They
it.
are.
I
think,
dude, I would pick the. If you let me re-choose today, I choose the Steelers so fast.
So I think
I
that's,
choose the Steelers so fast.
I think that's one where we're about to all be 0-1, or we'll be 1-1 overall, but 0-1 in that division. We all picked the Chiefs to win the West. I still think that can happen.
I wouldn't change my pick.
I would not. Drew, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you change your pick?
In AFC North?
West.
We're talking West. No. I still think it would be the Chiefs.
All right. Then we get to the South where it's fun. The AFC South, we know the Colts are the current leaders. The biggest surprise.
Did any of us choose the Colts to win the division?
Biggest surprise in football. I have the Jags winning preseason. I still like that.
They're 4-1. You're in great shape.
You had the Texans. That
They're
division
only
is still
one
open.
game. They're 2 games back in the division, but I mean, I don't know.
Now
better
I'm
football.
confused.
Are they still?
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I typed this wrong or Drew. Did you change this?
I changed it to what? So I think I picked the Titans to finish 3rd in the division. I thought the Texans would win, Jags 2nd, Colts dead last.
Okay.
We
all
went
I
through-
can tell you
Oh,
is I
boy.
went to
Oh,
the
boy.
original. I went to the original rundown. And I went to the original rundown and typed into our list. It said Jags for him, Texans for me, and Titans for you. So unless
I
are you
didn't pick the
sure
Titans.
Are you
didn't
saying
choose
it
the
was?
Titans?
Are you saying it was typed in wrong?
I believe
a month
so,
or
yes.
so ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I wrote them down on a piece of paper when I gave them to you, and mine said Texans.
Okay. All right.
I wrote all mine down before we
I
did
will
them.
take you at your word for that. All right.
I mean,
That's
even
fine.
so, they have the same
Do you
record
have
right
the
now.
paper?
So, yeah, it's in
Cody
my backpack.
wants the paper. Cody wants the.
You have the paper?
You actually want him to provide proof.
I'm just saying, like we had proof the other way. You know?
Okay.
They don't have the same
Okay.
record. The Titans are 1-4. The Texans are 2-3.
Okay. Then how about
It's not
the
good.
How about the NFC East? We all picked the Eagles. I still look. They're we can get back into Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, they'll win the East.
They're 4-2. I still think they'll be fine. This is what happens when you win Super Bowls. The next year, people expect you to look just as dominant as you did in the Super Bowl throughout the beginning of the next year. And we've seen this play out in Kansas City numerous times.
Admittedly, that division's way more up for grabs than we
It
want
is.
to admit. The Commanders have the same number of wins as them. They've had a bye, right? So they're not behind them, really. And the Dallas Cowboys are only a game and a half back. So, I mean, it's not like with games against the Eagles that they can still play, or a game against the Eagles they can still
That's
play.
fair.
So, like, I think that division is far more. And look, even the Giants have been scrappy the last couple of weeks. And so,
Jackson Dart, you know,
if you made me answer right now, what is the toughest division in football? I might answer the NFC East top to bottom. Obviously, the NFC North is the only other selection you can make in this scenario because the Bears haven't been a laughingstock. But genuinely, the NFC East is kind of scrappy.
How about the NFC West? We were all over the place on this one. Right now, this is a Niners and it's weird. This is the most wide open. You might say the East and the NFC is the toughest. I can make a case for the NFC West being the toughest division in football. A lot of that is because the Rams and Matthew Stafford have stayed healthy. The Niners are 4-1. Seahawks are 3-2. The Rams are 3-2, and then the Cardinals are 2-3. Preseason, I had Seattle.
They're in second.
Drew had the Rams. You
They're
had
in
the
third.
Cardinals.
They're in fourth. Look, the Cardinals aren't winning the division. I would immediately go back on that. Although what's so crazy about them is they have absolutely given away 2 games this year. They're also not a laughingstock.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just get, like, picked on as in they look terrible all the time. But they have given away 2 full games in their schedule. But they're not going to win it. They're not going to win the division. The real big surprise to me has been Sam Darnold, and I'm sure you guys probably have. Sam Darnold's been the number 1 most efficient quarterback in the NFL this year. He's been
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota fixed him, and now he's good to go in Seattle.
So Jackson Smith and Jigba is a real weapon. They run the ball pretty well. They play pretty good defense. I mean, I still wonder if the 49ers' injuries are going to catch up with them eventually. I'd still probably choose the Rams now if you made me, just because Stafford's played.
If he stays healthy.
And, I would just be banking on the fact he's been healthy for 5 games will probably hold.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, they probably win it. Remember, their losses was, a blocked field goal and then the fumble at the 1-yard line from Kyron Williams. Yeah. Otherwise, we're talking about them being undefeated. Now, look, it's football. It happens for everybody. But that just tells you, I think the West is still very much wide open. I still feel fine with my Seattle pick for the same reasons. But
which divisions would you say are done? As in, we already know the winner of the division. It's over. Is it just the Bucs?
Yeah, it's the NFC South. We all went Bucs, and I don't think anybody feels bad about that. The NFC
That's
South.
the only one I would declare to say it's over.
Correct.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the NFC South. There's not a single other one I would firmly declare it's over. And that includes the Bills, which I thought by now I would say it's over. I was closer to saying it's over before the season started.
That's fun, though.
I
mean, it's these teams, there's not a dominant team in the league right now. Anybody can beat anybody. We've had these crazy Thursday night and primetime results, weird upsets 2 Thursday nights in a row, right? Last week it was the Niners upsetting the Rams despite being all banged up. Last night it was the Giants comfortably beating the Philadelphia Eagles with Jackson Dart. That was really, really impressive. Last division, real quick. We already mentioned the South with the Bucs. The NFC North. Current standings for the NFC North. The Chiefs are facing the Lions. They are leading that division. They've won 4 in a row. They're 4-1. The Packers are 2-1-1. The Vikings are 3-2. The Bears are 2-2. Preseason predictions that we each had here. Cody, you had the Lions. I had the Packers. Drew had the Packers.
I don't think any of it. What, do we all feel bad about those selections?
I don't know if I'm going to feel as good about the Packers after this weekend.
Why?
Well, the Lions play the
I'm
Chiefs.
going to feel great about the Packers.
The
Chiefs are going to beat the Lions to give them their second loss on the year. The Packers are going to destroy Joe Flacco in Cincinnati, and we'll be good.
I honestly think Joe Flacco might die. This is elder abuse. Putting him out there against that Cincinnati line on 4 days rest. 2 weeks after the Packers already prepped for him. Elder abuse. They're sending that man out. That's unsafe. NFL should be investigating it.
Yeah.
No, I would still choose. I feel fine with the Lions. They've been one of the better teams in the NFL. They can score. I don't feel bad about it. Now on the other end, we made our. Is that all the divisions?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so on the other end, I just want to repeat these. I pulled up our final 4 teams to see if we're still on path there. I have Bills, Chiefs, Packers, Lions.
Okay.
Looks fine.
Yeah.
Right? Certainly looks doable. The Chiefs actually are the most concerning of the 4 picks so far, just based on gameplay. Gold, you had Bills, Chiefs as well. Bucks, Packers.
I still like that.
No real complaint about that. Baker Mayfield is going to really enter.
He's 9-1 now.
MVP. I was about to say,
about him for weeks. He was 30-1.
So he's firmly in the MVP conversation. So there's no reason for him then. Not as good for yours, Drew.
No, mine's rough.
Eagles, Packers. You still got some juice there.
Oh, definitely.
There's a chance.
Unfortunately, on the AFC side, you had the Ravens, Bengals selected.
That's tough.
They both may not make the playoffs.
That's tough.
Whoops. It happens.
You're a big AFC North guy. Now, in fairness, anytime I screw one up and the starting quarterback gets hurt, I don't feel that bad about it.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's still playing. Had Kyler Murray been hurt, I'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? For sure. Cardinals aren't going to win the division if there's no starting quarterback. Right. I'd actually give you a pass on the Bengals. The Ravens one, Lamar Jackson's hurt, but he's played more of the season and will still be available. Their problem is they're a bad football team.
And their defense is just
with
terrible.
or without Lamar Jackson. They can't play any defense.
So there you go.
Yep.
That's a look. We'll do this again in 4 weeks or so. It's fun to look back and see how we're pacing
poorly
for the NFL season. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Josh Briscoe going to join us. He, of course, will be on 3 hours before kickoff Sunday as the pre- and post-game host for the Chiefs radio network. But earlier in the weekend, I guess yesterday, I didn't know this, Drew mentioned it, Dusty was out at Twin Peaks doing an appearance. You guys know a couple years ago. Let's play. Yeah, let's play his first.
Okay.
A couple years ago, Drew was out at Twin Peaks for an appearance, and it provided us some unbelievable content. You made the comment a few days ago that you thought Dusty was maybe uncomfortable, and I said, "Really? Is uncomfortable as maybe you were?" And I said, "Let's play both."
Yeah, no, he's Well, I'm just gonna let his.
Okay.
This is Dusty from
let's hear his.
yesterday.
Dusty Leggett's here at Twin Peaks and KCMO. You know, the #1 sports bar, the coldest beer in town, huge scratch menu, weekend brunch specials. She loves it. All that above, plus every fight, every weekend, all the sports you can think of because they have every sports package. Plus, ain't a bad seat in the house because they got TVs at every angle. Come out to Twin Peaks here in Kansas City, Missouri. And what about the specials?
We got a bourbon and brews coming up tomorrow. It'll be Jefferson Small Batch, and we'll be in our lingerie.
That's right. I don't know if there's any other excuses you need to get to Twin Peaks and KCMO.
He said that's right.
Coldest beer in town and the #1 sports bar all around.
I thought it was a very Dusty-like response.
He
after
seems
the
very. He said,
lingerie
"That's
comment.
right."
Yeah, she said, "We're gonna be in lingerie." He's like, "That's right."
I would say.
Okay.
Okay, can I hear the other one before I get an opinion on the two?
All right, so that was Dusty's version of the Twin Peaks video. Remember, this was Drew a couple years ago.
All right, I'm rolling, and we can cut it when we need.
What's up, guys? This is Drew from 610 Sports Radio in KC. We're here at Twin Peaks. A lot of stuff going on. You can come out all the way up until 7 o'clock. They've got a lot of stuff going on. You get a chance to go to the Tigers game on Monday. All you got to do is give a little information to us. Then there's going to be a drawing. What you girls got going on here, $1 for every single beer that is sold throughout the month of May. And the goal is $30,000, right? Is that? Yes. The goal is $30,000? Okay. $3.50 Bud Light aluminums, and then there's a $2 deal for the Bud Light stuff as well. What is that exactly? $2 for 22 ounces?
$2 for our Twin Peaks light beer that just came
Okay,
out.
sweet. Is there anything else that you have going on that you want to promote? Say you got something, some sort of event coming up?
Yes, we do. We have a bikini bash on the 23rd. So we'll be in all bikinis all day.
Fantastic. Again, come on here until 7 o'clock.
Fantastic.
I will say, you
Love
talk to
it.
them like you've never talked to a woman before. Girls, you're women, so
ladies,
what do you got going
ladies.
on? Could you imagine if
You have
Gold went up
anything
to
to
a
say?
group of women at the bar and was like,
ladies, what do we have to say for ourselves?
That would go so bad.
Oh, it's great.
It's a little rougher.
It's great.
I think.
Although
it
I still
actually-
like the
hold on.
Fantastic, you know?
I mean, Dusty's version of Fantastic was, that's right.
That's right.
That's right, lingerie.
To the counterpoint, though, I do think that I would be awkward enough where if you genuinely went up to a group of ladies and said that, they would entertain you because they felt bad.
But it's zero riz, you know? Like you're going in there with just no charisma if you're approaching women at the bar that way.
I think it's
Dusty
easier
got
for them
you
to
on
make
that one.
to make them feel for you a little bit, you know, if you feel like you're
He's going
if
for
it's
the pity.
awkward, you know. Yeah.
He's going for the pity vote.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's worked before. Can't say that it won't work again. Don't forget, we're up at Community America in Raymore, just off 71 in Foxwood. In Raymore, there's already people in line at the big ATM where you have a chance to win free tickets to an upcoming game this Sunday against the Lions. Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Free food, tacos, as a matter of fact, to the first 100 people as well. Plus, the Chiefs Rumble will be playing the drums out here. So come out and see us, Community America, Foxwood and 71, right out here in Raymore.
Up next, Joshua Briscoe going to join us. We'll talk to him about his concern level with the Xavier Worthy limited participant in practice update we got yesterday, his thoughts on this Lions team. That's coming up next right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold. Tune in for Nate Taylor every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Cody and Gold are brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everybody gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Alex to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This fall, refresh your home with a special offer from Westlake Ace Hardware. Enjoy $10 off bin interior paint gallons October 1st through 31st. With an easy-to-apply, easy-to-maintain formula, Bin Interior offers an introduction into the beauty and durability of Benjamin Moore premium paint. Hurry into Westlake Ace Hardware for this limited-time savings and keep your spaces looking beautiful for years to come. Offer valid in-store only, so visit Westlake Ace Hardware today. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with autopay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 Inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss.
Call it in the air.
Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013, 800-444-2013, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-2013.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. And my first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft. Since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's up, KC? It's Hollywood Brown. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danny, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on a Red Friday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp. We are up in, or I should say down. I was going to say up. We're usually up. We're actually down in Raymore, Missouri today, off of 71 at Foxwood in Raymore. Hanging out with Community America Credit Union for the Red Friday tailgate. We have got a good crowd already showing up here. The tailgate goes till 1 o'clock. The big ATM, that's your chance to win tickets to Chiefs-Lions on Sunday, as the Chiefs, of course, welcome in Detroit. We've got a food truck here, some awesome tacos. We've got pretty soon the Chiefs cheerleaders. I see Casey Wolf off in the distance.
I see him over there.
So, I see Casey Wolf. We've got a Chiefs Rumble supposed to stop by and do a little performance here in a little bit. So it's going to be a fun day. It's also beautiful weather out here now that things have warmed up just a tad from the morning. So we're getting you set for Chiefs and Lions, and to help us do that some more, we welcome in Josh Briscoe, who, of course, will be getting you guys set 3 hours before kickoff right here on 96.5 The Fan, and post-game, hopefully talking about a big Chiefs victory. Briscoe, let's just start with, I think, what is on everybody's mind from an injury concern standpoint. Yesterday, all of a sudden, Xavier Worthy pops up as a non-participant in practice. Do you think this is a, hey, ankle, let's just be cautious here, let's give him a day off, or do you think there's something more serious here that he legitimately is not going to play on Sunday?
I think I'm more in the first camp, and I'm largely leaning on our mutual friend Nate Taylor, who told us on Only Weird Games yesterday. It felt like more of like a load management kind of thing, like being smart with the ankle. I think may have been Nate's exact phrasing. And you want to go ahead and give him the time to let that, if it is a swelling thing, which is again kind of what the conversation was with that trip to Jacksonville, having it pop up right before the game on Monday night, or a couple days before. So I think right now, with that in mind, and I'll be curious to get the final word today as well, but it seems slightly more likely that it's a bit of cautious care for a young pass catcher that in a lot of ways I think kind of reemphasizes how important he is to this offense, where the Chiefs are just trying to be wise about making sure he is in a position where he is able to go. I will still say, even with that bit of optimism, you've got to be worried about it. I mean, he kind of tweaked it a little bit more during the game against the Jags, it appeared, reaching down, kind of grabbing that high ankle area. We still have so few details, I feel, about what exactly is going on there, and what the impact will be, that it's reasonable to be concerned, but I think right now it makes the most sense that you expect him to play and to look mostly like himself. But it's kind of funny, not ha-ha funny, it's kind of like, oh dear, funny. It's kind of funny that, well, that the torn labrum in his shoulder, that doesn't affect his legs or his footwork, his speed, how he can cut. So that's something he can play through. The ankle now kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, just hoping that he is able to still look like himself on Sunday night.
No, the way I view, and I guess if Rashee Rice was healthy, I think you and I both know that they would do what they normally do with an injury, which is like, we just want to have Worthy play this week. The way they did it against the Giants, because they're like, well, that's the Giants. Like, if they had their full complement, this feels like one of those, we might sit him a week or sit him 2 weeks or try to play through a bye and then get him that way. That's how they traditionally handle those things, Briscoe. Andy's not normally we give you Thursday off, you get back to limited participant on Friday, and then you're just like the normal receiver. I think it's more just like record and circumstance and the lack of Rice that talks him into like the non-traditional, or maybe the more like how other teams do it way. They don't really load management injuries very often.
No, you're right, and that's kind of what I was getting at. But you've taken it the rest of the way there in terms of like his value, his import to the offense. It's treating him like a veteran, frankly. Like even Travis Kelce didn't get a lot of those over his career so far, but like you have one of those things where like, well, yeah, you're a tight end and is mid-30s, and we know that you know the playbook. We're going to go ahead and let you try to figure out. Again, I couldn't tell you a lot of examples of Kelsey missing a Thursday, practicing on Friday, and then playing on Sunday, because even that is a pretty big outlier. But it really is like a Mahomes, Kelsey, Jones, maybe to some extent like a Justin Reed, Tyrann Mathieu, Nick Bolton. Those kind of guys have a little bit of extra flexibility because of, I think, the trust the coaching staff has in them. I think is probably why they are able to earn that in a way that your average player on the team just isn't getting. To your point, usually if you're not practicing on Thursday, your odds of playing on Sunday go way, way, way down. But I believe that if Xavier Worthy is able to play on Sunday night, I think he'll be out there.
We're talking to Josh Briscoe here on 96.5 The Fan. Have you seen enough from this O-line? In particular, I'm talking about the left side of the O-line, that knowing they're going up against one of the best defensive linemen in football, Agent Hutchinson, that we're at a point where, yeah, he might get his, but you don't think it's going to just be a disastrous night where the Chiefs can't protect Mahomes.
Yeah, I really am, and I know it's still relatively early in the season, and you hit it exactly of like, look, I'm not at a place where I just say the matchup doesn't matter, the pass rushers don't matter, Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia are not allowing a pressure the rest of the way. But I do think that we've graduated to a point where you can be confident in knowing you're getting really solid play from Josh Simmons, and at minimum, like, really competent play from Kingsley. And I hope that doesn't come across as a backhanded compliment. It's still a new position for a guy who really struggled to reach that bar of competence at tackle last year. I mean, never did reach that bar last year. So I think what we've seen in terms of those two guys together, it's not just that, like, you can still see the ceiling. The floor has risen for both of them. And I think it was evident for Simmons that was going to be the case. And you hope that would be the case for Kingsley. So I am at a point now where I don't include, as we might have in week 1, week 2, maybe even week 3, I don't know. I don't include, like, Kingsley disaster potential in my, like, thought process before the game. I think he's earned a little more trust than that, which is really great news.
I think the nicest thing I can say about Kingsley is I kind of forgot he existed for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Like, I don't remember thinking or discussing, or, like, you know, I just kind of nothing him the last couple of weeks. No, go ahead. I was just going to say it's a compliment in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only time I've heard his name called by Mitch in the play-by-play the last couple of weeks was, I think last week he said, and that's Kingsley Suamataio's first penalty of the year. And I went, oh, yeah, that's great news. I know the Chiefs are 2-3, but it's week 5, and that's his first flag of the season. I think I've got that right from last week.
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely. That's the place where you want to be, where I think the idea of Kingsley in year 2 or 3 at guard, you can start to see him, and again, best case scenario here, you can see him getting weaponized in the running game while also having that floor as a pass protector. But I think what we've seen a little bit also, to kind of just go back a few feet to Patrick Mahomes in the passing game, I think what we've seen now in these last 2 weeks in particular, and that's with one very banged-up Ravens pass rush and a really good but still banged-up Jags one. So, you're going to – Sunday night against the Lions is going to be a very good test for them to continue here. But I think that you're seeing the proof of concept of this offseason's offensive line strategy, which is, hey, look, Kingsley Suamataia is not going to be Joe Thuney in 2025. But if we trade Thuney away, we extend the younger player in Trey Smith, if you can get Jawan Taylor without the penalties, another guy who we've gotten to not talk about these last couple of weeks, which is a compliment, and you have an answer at left tackle. If it was Jalen Moore or, Josh Simmons is here at the end of the first round. If the sum of the parts can raise the water level a little bit, then Mahomes can look more comfortable. And I really do think we've seen perhaps the most comfortable Patrick Mahomes in the pocket that we've seen in more than a season now over these last couple of weeks. So I think that's a very good sign.
Briscoe, you mentioned it's nice the last couple of weeks not talking about Jawan Taylor. That's a good thing. Do you think on Monday we're still talking about Harrison Butker and Chris Jones or not? To me, it's a very good thing if we're not.
Right. No, I think we'd rather not be. I guess I would love to talk about Chris Jones for a good reason on Monday, because obviously the oxygen has been spent on the Jags topics. And frankly, I don't know. I think you probably could have more criticism for the course of the game for Jones. We all know what happened on the last play, or at least we've seen the last play. I would like to talk about Chris Jones having a takeover game, because I really do think that's almost necessary for this defense. I do believe that any Steve Spagnuolo defense is going to have a way to create pressure with the blitz, and I think the secondary is really in pretty good shape, with the exception of I'd love to see more Noel Williams and less slot man corner Shamari Connor. He can keep playing safety. I just don't need him lining up from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a bad matchup for the Chiefs. I think Spags knows that. But all that to say, I would love to have some good reasons to talk about Chris Jones. Maybe if we're not talking about him at all, it's because he got double teamed to hell and the rest of the defense was able to do its job, and I'd be totally fine with that too. Honestly, I assume we're going to have a Harrison Butker thing to talk about on Monday. If it's one missed kick or one kick out of bounds or whatever it is, and frankly,
what if it's a 59-yard game winner?
Right, that's exactly right. So if we are talking about him for a good reason, if he has a clean sheet, so to speak, we could come in talking about, hey, you know what? Here's the first of what need to be several clean games from Butker. Or here's the walk-off field goal that proves that he can still do that. That's just how his season's gone. I don't think that that's some sort of soothsaying, just say, it's just, there's too large of a sample size to say that nothing is going on with him. So hopefully on Monday we're talking about him for a good reason.
If you aggregate the last 4 years, he's an average NFL kicker. Mm-hmm. If you take the last year and whatever this season, he's a below-average NFL kicker. I mean, at some point, the conversation just can't be ignored anymore with him. And I get, and look, we can save those conversations for if something goes awry again this week, or hopefully, as you pointed out, maybe he just stabilizes and we don't have to have that conversation. On the offensive end, you had mentioned the offensive line, feeling like you don't have to go in every week and asking the questions like preseason of where are they? The offense in general, I am the most optimistic I have been about it in years.
Yeah.
Probably at least 2 years. Because at no point last year was like, this offense is going to find it without Rashee Rice and a bad offensive line. I don't think so. 2 years ago, their number one wide receiver going into the year might have been Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I felt this level of optimism about what they're doing offensively. And I feel like that is here to stay.
I appreciate you bringing up Kadarius Toney, because it's just been a couple of weeks since I've thought about him, and I'd like to go ahead and stay. I like to stay.
I'd like him to do the Super Bowl halftime show. Get Tony out there with Bad Bunny.
Well, we got a bunch of alternative ones too.
Yeah, let's get a young Joka cameo there. I think that's a great idea. I think that's correct. I think I've got his artist's name right. What we're talking about?
The offense and its ability to score points the rest of I think the rest of the way, once Rice is back, I think it'll be a top 5 offense the rest of the season.
No, I think I'm with you on that. And look, we're always going to nitpick on the failings in a loss, and we're going to celebrate the high water marks in a win. That makes total sense. It's just how we do things. The Chiefs' offense sputtering, kind of the wrapping around halftime against the Jags was really frustrating, because they did have a chance to just put their foot down and make that game not as close down the stretch as it needed to be. And maybe we're talking about them being 3-2 instead of 2-3 right now. But with that being said, no, I absolutely think that's the right read here. Again, you get a comfortable Mahomes behind an O-line that seems to be gelling. And look, it wasn't a dominant rushing attack against the Jags, and partially because they still just didn't hand the ball off very much. But you had the best individual runs of the season for Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Hunt ran for 33 and hurdled a guy on a different run. I didn't know he could do either of those things anymore. And Isaiah Pacheco, it wasn't a huge busted-off run, but that one where he kind of runs into some traffic and bounces it back left and keeps making some stuff happen, that's the kind of thing we just haven't really seen him do this year, that he did do a few times earlier in his career that you kind of saw the vision. No pun intended, but actually in this case, it's perfect. You saw the vision. So I think having a little bit of reliance on a competent ground game, and then being able to take your deep shots to Tyquan Thornton, being able to have Xavier Worthy, and then ultimately soon Rashee Rice be your kind of your meat and potatoes, the vegetables of the offense. I really do think that they're in a really good place. It's just so frustrating that I think they're there. And if they lose to a good Lions team on Sunday night, we're going to be talking about how good the offense is on this 2-4 team that just has the margin for error shrinking and shrinking. And if they beat the Lions, we're going to say, all right, they made it to Rashee Rice at 500. They lost to 3 good teams. They beat 3 teams, and life is okay. It's just there's a lot riding on a Week 6 Sunday night game.
I just feel like it's like it feels exactly like the Ravens game, like the way we were talking before the Ravens game.
Yep. And similarly, like again, the Chiefs went into that game as underdogs, which feels crazy in retrospect. I'm surprised they've been favored this whole week against the Lions. I know it's at home, but so is Baltimore. I do think there's something to that, Cody. My fear now is that, especially with the benefit of hindsight, the Ravens were so injured, and they did have one unit that was so clearly the weaker part of that team.
Yeah.
The Lions, now look, the Lions also, their secondary is very, very injured right now. So maybe that's the thing, maybe we overlooked a little bit with Baltimore that could end up being a chance for Mahomes and these receivers to feast on Sunday night. It's just going to end up being a battle of who doesn't make mistakes. We saw it last night. We saw it last Monday night. We saw it last Sunday night. There really are like 30 teams who I think could beat any other team in the NFL right now. Obviously, the Chiefs and Lions are both pretty high in that ranking. So flip a coin and hope for the best. The league is crazy right now.
Last question I have for you, Briscoe, and then we can let you get out of here. Gold says, we're at Community America now. We come back on Halloween. I said I wanted to dress as Chiefsaholic. He says that's in poor taste and a bang. Do you think that's a no-go?
Well, I mean, you're both right. You're both right. Gold is right that it's in poor taste, and you're right that it's a great idea. And I don't know if I want to be the tiebreaker. Here's the thing, Cody, you know me well enough. I want to see it. And if you get in trouble, I want to see that too. So I think with no self-preservation instincts whatsoever, I think you ought to do it.
All right, so as long as you agree, then you're on standby that Friday when he gets kicked off the air. You'll finish the show with me. Are you good?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, perfect.
That seems like a fair deal.
I'll do the entire 11 o'clock hour with you, legitimately. Like, my hand on a stack of Bibles right now. The 11 o'clock hour, I will be here talking to you the whole time while Cody's getting led away in cuffs.
Perfect. Perfect. We appreciate it, man. We'll be listening 3 hours before kickoff on Sunday.
Appreciate it, Gold. I'll talk to you next week.
There you go. That's exactly right. That's the deal, man. In a couple weeks, we're at the Blue Springs Community America Credit Union Red Friday tailgate. If Cody chooses to dress as Chiefsaholic at a credit union, there might be consequences, and Briscoe said he'll fill in. So, okay. All right. Make that decision. I don't think it's a smart one, but go for it. It'll be entertaining for me. I know that, and maybe our audience, as long as you're good with the potential consequences.
The consequences of it?
Yep. You might want to run that one by the
might want to
boss.
Clear that past the tower.
Might want to run that one by the PE.
I've spent a lot of time on this show talking about being an above-board show. That would definitively be below board?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say so. But be sure you listen to Briscoe. He will be hosting pre- and post-game coverage on the Chiefs Radio Network right here on 96.5 The Fan Sunday as the Chiefs get set to take on the Detroit Lions. Reminder, we're going to get a little inside view from the Detroit Lions side of things at 12:30. Mark Ryan, who does radio in Detroit, will tell us what do they make of the Chiefs from far away, and also what is their concern. They got some injuries in their secondary.
They do.
How real are those? What happens with their defensive front against this Chiefs offensive line? All that we'll get into about an hour from now. But it is that time of the show, Drew, where we get to
Trash of the Day.
I had this one yesterday, and then we got the update on the escapees from the New Orleans prison, the last escapee that was caught and all that, so it shifted the trash of the day. Today has to do with a TikToker. And I know you're a little more active on TikTok than I am, Cody.
Sure.
But there's a TikTok from someone named Piper Denise Smith, okay? All right. She announced to the world her belief. It's a theory. She thinks she's being cheated on, okay?
Okay.
But here's the theory, okay? We got to talk this one out. So she has suction cup marks on her fridge. Okay, you're like, all right, what does that have to do with cheating? Well, since her boyfriend doesn't have suction cup mounts on his phone, she suspects that they were caused by the other woman sticking her phone to her fridge.
Oh.
Now, people have commented on this. I know. People have commented on this, suggesting that, hey, just clean the fridge and then see if they show back up again. Someone else said, trolling her boyfriend's social media to see if there's a mirror selfie video where the background matches her kitchen that pops up. Someone else said, might be a house cleaner just creating content.
Okay, so if she has a house cleaner, you got to start there. Like, if you got someone who comes to your house regularly and cleans or something, start there immediately. You have to.
The suction cup mounts on your fridge is why your spouse is cheating or your partner's cheating?
I got to be honest. This is like
insecure.
Like covering up. Well, one, it's insecure, but also, if you're the guy and you are cheating, You got to cover your tracks better than that, my guy. You're just like running into all kinds of trouble.
But what,
Look,
also,
the truth is,
We're not here for the advice to the guy, Cody. We're here to figure this mystery out.
Well, we talk about both sides of the way this works.
figuring it
My
out.
guess is that she's being insecure.
I think so.
Say something. Say, hey, where are these suction cups? You got one of those things? I would complain about anything else. Be like, the fridge is dirty all the time. Do you know where these circles come from?
Yeah.
What else could it
it's
be,
okay
though,
to ask.
other than suction
That's how
cups,
I
though?
would put it.
Because why would her husband be using suction cup mounts on the fridge?
I mean, maybe he just wants to take a photo, but he's kind of embarrassed by the fact that he takes a selfie that way.
In the kitchen? Are we sure?
I mean, I've never taken a selfie in the kitchen, but it doesn't mean they can't.
Someone says, man, people blaming the cleaning crews. Not us. I just read you the story. The story people are commenting, saying it's the cleaning crew. I'm not blaming them. I don't know what it is. My guess is, yeah, there's something else on the fridge and that the spouse is not
Could it be
cheating.
any number of things? Could it be magnet? Like, it has to... was there a pattern that indicated... Like, a specific pattern, Gold, that indicated, like, an
Look,
obvious marker
Some
of
of you are texting it in, and I don't think that's what it is, but I understand. I understand what you're thinking. I understand what you're thinking.
Is it getting bleak over there?
People are talking about the suction cup mounts being used for certain things that we're not going to talk about on this show.
Yep. No, probably not.
Yep.
For the best.
Someone says, what if the husband just has one of those like Nerf guns and it just leaves the suction cup on the fridge? He's just busy, he's just bored and he's just got a little Nerf gun. You know?
It said she followed
That's
up.
quite the benefit of the doubt there.
And reading a little bit about the story, it said she did post a follow-up to the video with the caption, quote, "Thank you all for the love and support. I woke up to this morning. I would definitely prefer to cry in bed all day, but I'll be damned if these babies see mommy sad. Hopefully anyone having a hard day sees this and knows they will be okay. It's just one foot in front of the other." So she didn't confirm that the guy was cheating.
Why would someone's right? Like, why would anybody have suction cup marks on their fridge, though?
I mean, other than
I do think that's a valid question.
I mean, someone could take if this thing is designed to hang up somewhere,
But why
so
in
you
your
can take a
kitchen?
selfie without
In your kitchen?
On the fridge.
People take. Why can't you take a selfie in a kitchen?
Do you take selfies in the kitchen?
I don't, but I don't see that. Why is that out of bounds? People take them in the bathroom. Why is the kitchen out of bounds?
Because you're getting ready at least. If you're a woman, you're getting ready or whatever. What are you taking a photo in front of your fridge too? It's not like you're doing it like by your oven or something.
Well, you're not taking it in front of your fridge. The fridge is holding the fridge, so you'd be taking it into
fine.
You got a lovely kitchen.
The bathroom
Maybe
is where you take the
know?
selfies. I feel like the
Wait a sec.
kitchen is.
I got to be honest. I'm not going to stand for the
There's a
idea
mirror
that
in
as a society, we're going to be fine with the idea of the bathroom being an acceptable place to take a photo, but the kitchen being off limits.
Yeah, I think she's paranoid.
That doesn't seem all that
How about
crazy.
this? I think she's just very paranoid and nothing's happening.
I think you're right.
You ever
Cody.
been accused of cheating? I haven't.
Cody, I think you're
I've
right.
also never cheated, so I guess.
Cody,
right to me.
I think you're correct. She should ask and just be like, hey, what are these suction cup marks? And then from there, you try to investigate. You don't just assume.
As an owner of a stainless steel appliance, right? It's the hardest thing to keep clean.
Sure.
Kids' fingerprints, small splash. It's a huge pain in the ass. I think if you just simply were like, hey, this thing sucks to clean anyway, what are all these circles?
Yes.
Got any idea for what the
Simple
hell's
as that.
causing this? That's the best way to find out. Then he starts acting suspicious. Okay, maybe something's up. If he's like, hell if I know, well, then it's
Well,
probably
I don't know, honey.
Or
The
if he's like,
fridge
I
is
took
dirty.
a photo, and I had one of those little thingies to put the
And
photo
she's
up.
going to say, I didn't know you had one of those suction cup
And
mounts.
she's going to be like, why didn't you post it? And you'd be like, I didn't like the photo. It was no good.
And that's where you just go down the rabbit hole of back and forth, and yeah, insecure.
A lot of people thinking that camera's mounted for a reason, if it's even for a phone.
A secret cooking
Just
show?
saying.
Somebody suggested?
No chance.
I don't think so either.
What we don't know is we haven't seen any. There's no photo evidence, so we don't know what's the layout of the kitchen. Cody, is it the mount? Is there a counter right behind? Is there an island? A good size island? Is there just a table there?
What are you suggesting?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That is the trash of the day. Up next, right back into some Chiefs football. It's the Chiefs Red Half Hour. We saw Cam Scadaboo look awesome last night for the Giants, and it brings us back to the frustrating running back conversation. We'll do that a little bit, and we get back into how wide open this league is looking right here on Cody and Gold as we continue broadcasting live from Community America Credit Union. We are in Raymore, hanging out for their Red Friday tailgate off of 71 in Foxwood. Still time to get some lunch. Great taco food truck out here and a chance to win some Chiefs-Lions tickets. Next.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trent McDuffie. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Working on your house, I cannot emphasize enough the thing I think is important. That is working with locally owned and operated companies who've been doing business in town long enough that you know they're going to stand behind their warranty. In Kansas City, that is Century Roofing. You can check them out at centuryroofingkc.com, where they can offer you a free estimate on any possible roof repair or any possible roof replacement. Whether it be that you need to work with the insurance company or need small repairs like I had done on my house. We had noticed a drip. I had them come take a look at it. They showed me pictures on the roof. They're like, hey, here's a couple things we think we need to do. You don't need a new roof yet. It was easy, simple. They came out the next day to fix the problems on the roof that they had noticed, and then no more worries for me. I don't hear that drip anymore. I don't hear that sound that gives me concern that they're going to have that problem. So if you're looking for a roofing company, how about one voted Best of Kansas City by readers of the Kansas City Star and Best of Johnson County 4 years in a row. Go to centuryroofingkc.com, trust the pillars of strength, and tell them that Cody sent you.
Are you ready to fire up your Saturdays? Well, FanDuel has got a boost that you don't want to miss. It's called Boosting with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. Here's how it works. Each week, we're giving everybody a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everybody gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams every Saturday with an extra payout on the line. It's fun. It's easy. It's only on FanDuel. So go to FanDuel.com. Use the promo code KFNZ to get started on the app and check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. And remember, FanDuel has got a boost that you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost. Tokens restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults focused on the future. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
Yeah, we're hanging out at Community America Credit Union. We are in Raymore today. We're broadcasting till 2. The tailgate still goes till 1 o'clock, so another hour and a half. We're just getting started. Maybe you heard the Chiefs rumble behind us a little bit. We've got Casey Wolf out here and a chance to win some Chiefs and Lions tickets. They already given away one pair. I believe they still have more to give away. But the big ATM, a lot of Chiefs swag. That's where you want to go when you come out here. You'll see the line. Casey Wolf is there. Looks like taking some photos with some people. And got a great taco food truck. I know next break, that's my target, Cody. I'm headed over to the taco food truck. First 100 people that come out here get that. And quite honestly, spoiler, a few after 100 as well. You'll be good. If you get here before 1 o'clock, you'll get some food.
Yeah, we've never seen them turn anyone away. I'll say that. I think it's for sure. CYA reasons maybe to say 100. But generally speaking, I've never seen them turn anyone away in all the remotes we've done here. So come out and see us here at Raymore. Like we said, out here just off of Foxwood and 71. We'll be here for a bit. Last night in the Giants game, you and I made the same observation, and we're not alone, because when you watch a guy like Cam Scatterboo run the way he's running, first, it's just fun, right? Like, it's fun to watch a running back. You're like, oh, look, he's getting 3 touchdowns. He's ripping his shirt off with Ryan Fitzpatrick either. He just seems like a football guy, right? And so people like watching football guy do football stuff. But more importantly, a rookie running back is having an impact for a team, and we spent a huge chunk of the offseason saying we wanted them to address that position. It's kind of getting hard to notice when you're getting more backs in the league showing an impact.
You can look at it in two different ways. One, you can say, see, this is why they should have drafted a running back much higher. You and I both wanted them to do that in the offseason. We've now seen Cam Scatterboo and Amari and Hampton have impacts. R.J. Harvey's the number 2 in Denver, but he still has looked good at times when he's gotten a workload. We've seen even some guys.
Corey Krosky-Merritt's been he's coming off a huge game.
Bill is playing well there in D.C. You got the Woody Marks kid down in Houston that is starting to come on a little bit. So there's plenty. On one hand, you say missed opportunity, and I agree, missed opportunity. On the other hand, it gives me hope for next year where in the draft, every year in the draft, you can find a running back. Now, I'm not saying you're going to find the next Saquon. You're going to find the next Derrick Henry. No, those are Hall of Famers. but you can find very serviceable backs in the draft. I even think in the 7th round with Brashard Smith, if they start to utilize him more, we're going to say, you know what, that looks like a pretty good pick if they will start to use him. But there are backs every year that can have an impact on the season. And, yeah, Cam Scatterbo, anybody that watched college football, I mean, we talked about him with Drew a lot last year from Arizona State. I mean, you watched him, you knew that this was a guy that had have a role in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to, be a top 5 back ever in football. Probably not, okay? But that's not what you necessarily have to get out of your 4th-round draft pick. He's someone that is max effort, max energy, going to be a fan favorite. And last night he had his coming out party on a national stage, and you're starting to see more and more people jump on his bandwagon a little bit.
I mean,
very simply, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So let's say they use Brashard Smith more and it works out. Are you worried that it's going to scare them off of drafting one after this year?
Oh, for sure.
Because I think that
it's always a risk.
While Brashard is playing well, it feels like they need a full-on reset of that room entirely after this season. So whether Brashard's in there, still draft a guy.
They're going to draft a guy no matter what, I guess. And I'm not overly worried because Pacheco's not under contract and neither is Kareem Hunt. They're going to have to do something anyway. So either they're doing Brashard Smith and they give Pacheco an extension and he's going to be here anyway. No, I don't.
I think
that's why I'm saying they're going to draft one.
Yeah. Look, I would say, sorry, I just say real quick for Brashard Smith, the same question we have about them utilizing him as a 7th rounder, it's also that if they would have drafted Cam Scatterbo in the 4th round, do you think he is getting more touches right now than Brashard Smith? The draft was after they signed Kareem Hunt. So that's the thing. If you want to say, well, they wouldn't have signed Kareem Hunt, well, the order of operation here, they signed Kareem Hunt first.
Everyone realizes, right, that Cam Scatterbo was in a timeshare until Tyrone Tracy got hurt.
Correct.
That even they were, based on last night's game, underutilizing their running back. I think Gold's point of you can find him anywhere is easy. Let's go through the rookie running backs and where they rank in the NFL, and let's find out what round they went in. The leading rusher amongst rookie NFL running backs is Ashton Genty. He was obviously a top 5 pick. Quinshon Judkins is number 2. Was he second technically? He was second,
yes.
But he was like,
yes.
He wasn't late in the second.
No.
He was mid
like 33.
second or early second. Okay. Cam Scatterbo, a 4th rounder, right? So now we're getting a little bit further down. Amarian Hampton, a 1st rounder. So now we're getting into like a little bit lower in the list. Krosky Merritt, a 7th rounder. Even further down the list on where those guys rank, he was in the 7th. So you can kind of find him anywhere. And to the point, it's not like all these guys are being overutilized. I just think running back changes. The thing I want to do with running back moving forward is I'm never loyal to anyone. Unless you happen to draft Ashton Genty or Jonathan Taylor and you draft an absolute dude, then you should just be constantly looking to replace your running back, is my opinion. Like, you should just be actively looking for somebody different all the time. Like, that's the loyalist part of it, is like, at that position, I'm not loyal at all. The fact that they've run out Pacheco for 4 years as their starting running back, considering
From a 7th round pick?
That's too long, but that's too long. He's not good enough to be your starting running back for 4 years. You should have found somebody else by now. Did they get their value out of it?
They're 1 year too late is what they are. They're 1 year too late, I would say, on drafting in that particular spot. I still think, and I hope as the season progresses, we have a much better feeling about Brashard Smith because he's utilized, because I actually see you can see what they like in him. But it is frustrating seeing some of these other running backs that were drafted have an impact in their particular system, even if it is in a smaller role. Heck, you mentioned the Cleveland backs, Cody. Judkins is the guy getting all the attention. They drafted Dylan Sampson. He's not even playing.
Oh, he's getting 0 snaps.
Wouldn't you? I mean,
none.
And he was what? He was a 5th round pick or 4th round pick?
Yeah.
Sampson.
But maybe he's getting none because he stinks. You know?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but I just I look across the league, and I don't care if it's like Kendre Miller looking good for a couple of weeks or it's just they're. Like Woody
Kendre Miller, that was 2 years ago, right?
But he's played. I'm not even talking about rookies now. Okay. I'm just talking about like Woody Marks comes in and he looks okay for a couple weeks, right? I mean, that's just the way running back works. It's mostly just about vision and fit inside your offense, and that's where it's been tough for the Chiefs. I get kind of jealous. Like, I look at Cam Scatterbo in the 4th. That is the exact round we were asking them to draft a back. Gold, we were not greedy. We weren't saying, let's take Quinshon Judkins with pick 32. And obviously, I don't want to do anything different at the pick 31. I want Josh Simmons forever. I don't want them making a different selection at what they chose. But we were talking 3rd, 4th, 5th round. When it got to the 7th, we're like, hey, man, there's still guys available. We thought R.J. Harvey might be available in the 2nd he's available. We thought Cam Scatterbo might be in the 3rd he's still available. It was mostly just about, looking back and being like, there were so many available options of guys who have looked efficient in the NFL. And they just didn't even take a stab on any of those guys.
913-586-7965, Jay's Southland Tow Service text line. Someone says, speaking of Scadaboo, can we talk about Gold's eBay listings? Well, this is from last night. What's wrong with my eBay listings?
I mean, you sell cards sometimes.
I posted that I had a listing for Cam Scadaboo card. I still do. It's an autographed rookie card of his that I listed 3 days ago. Timing has worked out nice because he just had this massive game. And so I think it's like $55 right now with 2 days to go. And I sent out the link to it. And a few people commented and said, oh, I'll add it to my watch list because I tagged the Giants, tagged #Giants on purpose. And someone responded and said, hey, all your eBay listings make sense except for one, and I knew which one they were talking about. I currently have multiple items up for sale or auction. There is one listing. It was something my sister asked me to list. One of my sisters.
So, let's see. He's got a Cam Scadaboo card, multiple Cam Scadaboos.
Yeah.
An Aaron Judge card.
I do.
Mostly just cards, right? Makes sense.
Of course, that's all I sell.
Everybody's looking through it. Gold is also currently selling a Freed of London Ballet point shoe, size 5.5, new, never worn.
That's right.
Available right now.
That's the second pair. I already sold one of them. My sister, who used to be a professional ballerina, doesn't do it anymore and had extra point shoes. She said, hey, do you want to just list these on eBay? I said, sure. It took 2 months to sell the first pair, so I just listed the second pair 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah.
They're available for $70.
If you asked me to sell something for you, I'd sell it.
Would you?
Within reason.
You'd sell something for me?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So my couch,
Okay.
I know that you're the guy now.
Well,
I know that
not
you're the
couch
guy
on
now.
eBay.
Oh,
It's not couch on eBay. That's insane. Got to be something smaller than that.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, I sold 100 plus cards on eBay before, but that is an odd listing. I get it if you're going through and you're like, wait a second.
Somebody would think you'd went through a bad breakup. That would be someone's initial instinct, and they left the point shoes
Can we
behind.
get the link? The link to the my
point shoes or to the cards?
To the Scadaboo? Well, I mean, you can just look up the store. It shows all my listings. But if you go to my Twitter account, there's a link to the Scadaboo card. Please go make a bid. Now, this card will be. This is not. We're not talking.
Not a high dollar card.
This is going to be. It's going to be like $100 card, probably $150 now that he did well. Maybe. It's out of $499 and it's autographed. It's not a 101. It's not out of 25. The fact that it's at 50, I'm happy. I thought I was only going to get 50 for it, but he had a huge night, so now there's
and you
a chance.
happened to list it at a good time. And if you hadn't listed it, you might have just gone ahead and listed it then anyway.
Someone says, "What's his eBay name?" That's a great question. I don't know. Let me see.
I don't have it memorized.
AGKC 91.
AGKC 91. Yeah. So if you're interested in a Cam Scadaboo rookie
Or point
card,
shoes.
Or point shoes.
If you had a daughter that's going to be in point, please go buy them. Size 5.5.
I don't think my daughter's going to reach that level of ballet. I don't think she's going to be in full point shoes. I could be wrong, but I would say, how some people are just like
Gold,
graceful
why didn't you
by
help
nature.
sell stuff from the box then?
Well, that was different, and I also took ownership of that. Gold made it very clear from I'll defend
the palette,
this.
the palette, or
Gold
the box?
made it very clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
That this was a Cody Tapp production, and so life is what it is. Let's talk more about the Chiefs here for a minute.
Yeah.
In the Chiefs Red Half Hour, of course, brought to you by All Weather Decks. But, of course, our football coverage here in Sports Talks on the Fan is brought to you by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL and CBS on Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com for more. Look, I know I didn't ask Briscoe, and maybe I should have. And, Gold, I understand your point of, games and circumstance should matter. But at this point, I will have had enough circumstance built up that the individual game and how it finishes doesn't matter.
Casey Wolf's telling you to calm down. He just looked at you and said, calm down, man. Calm down.
If they lose, I will view this as a team that does not have the closer's mentality at the moment that the other teams have had. I'm not even saying that that's not something you can't or can develop as the season goes on and as time goes on, Gold. But, there is going to seem to be a missing element at this point of the season from this team that every other Patrick Mahomes Chiefs-led team has possessed. And that will start to be a concern for me. I don't care if they lose 35-31 or get their ass kicked for probably having an even worse part of this
well, if that happens, it is a very real convo at that point.
But I think even if it's close, I'm going to start viewing this team as, can they beat good teams? Genuinely, can they beat a good football team? To this point, they've beaten the Ravens and the Giants. Those have a combined 3 wins on the season. The Giants, who are coming off a win against the Eagles, also lost to the Saints 2 weeks ago. So who knows what the hell? Or a week ago. Who knows what the hell they are?
Yeah, I mean,
and
I think it's fair.
I just think it's like I'm going to immediately start looking at this team and feeling differently about this team.
I think it's fair. You won't be alone. I personally still think some context will matter depending on without knowing how the game goes. But I do agree with this, which is time and time again in the past, these teams have been able to step their game up when their backs are against the wall or they're facing one of the top teams in the league. And you know the Detroit Lions are capable of scoring 35 or more points.
Yeah, of course they are. That's what they average on the season. They're the highest scoring offense for a reason. Casey Wolf is currently
I wish we had on video
listening
right
to
now.
it. You know what? It's good. I liked it.
Casey Wolf's locked in. He
focused. Thinks they're going to win.
Yeah. Casey Wolf's staring you down right now.
Yeah, and that's fine. Look, just because I'm going to judge this team critically if they can't beat them on Sunday night, the other part is, in the previous games they had lost, on the road to the Chargers, whatever. They were off their game, weird game. They're in Brazil. Things are different. Losing to the Jags on the road, they still let that one slip away. Kind of feels a little bit different. The at-home Sunday night football, to your point, every other Chiefs team I'm accustomed to.
They play their best.
Yes. This is when they have their best game plan, and we come in on a Monday and we say, I haven't seen that play in a while, or I didn't realize they were capable of that, or look at the unsung hero, or whatever it is. I'm not expecting this game. I'd be stunned if the Chiefs blew out the Lions. I would be stunned because it'd be so weird, and I wouldn't know how to figure out this
It's
team.
more likely that happens than they get blown out, though.
This year?
At home? Yes, at home.
Historically, I agree with you, no question. This year, have they been blown out? Just the one game against the Chargers, I guess we would argue.
That was a one-score game,
and that wasn't even like.
Remember, they've been one score. The Eagles game was a one-score game. They're 0-3 in one-score games.
Not like the Lions have been blown out. They weren't blown out by the Packers.
No.
They didn't play
That was
good
close
football.
to one. That was.
Look, I don't think a blowout's happening either way. If you made me say one thing is more likely than the other, I guess I'd give. I don't know, man.
I think it's a close
I think
game.
it's more likely the Lions blow the Chiefs out than the other way around. But I don't think either's going to happen. So, I don't want to get into a back and forth on that because it's like a coin flip, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But genuinely speaking, it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to have to view this team a couple different ways. Are you surprised they're favored? The Chiefs?
I'm not because, one, the Lions are missing multiple secondary pieces. It's a home game. I think also what I just said, there's, so much of these numbers is based off of, yes, this year, but also trends and things like that. And the Chiefs typically in this spot are a very good football team. Typically this is a very, very good spot for them. Patrick Mahomes typically is at his best in spots like this. I think everybody is recognizing the offense is trending in a great direction.
I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of it. And to say it out loud test a little bit for a lot of people, the Chiefs are going to lose back-to-back games, including one at home. That does, and that goes to your theory, which is it'll prove if they are how much different is this team.
Yeah, that's
that's where it's at. I'm not guaranteeing a win or anything. I feel very good about the Chiefs' chances though on Sunday night, given the fact it's at home. I think typically in these spots, the Chiefs, the coaching staff included in this, by the way, this includes Spags and Matt Nagy and Andy Reid. They typically are at their best.
How many games do you think Patrick Mahomes has played on Sunday Night Football? I'm going to look it up.
Oh, I mean, at this point,
15?
What's your guess?
10?
Yeah, I was going to say 20. So, yeah, Drew, I'm kind of with
God,
you.
20 times?
15? Somewhere like that. 13?
Hold on, I'll look it up. I mean, we can certainly find that. That's not a challenge. I'll just look up his splits on Pro Football Reference. I wanted you guys to take a shot in the dark before we got there.
I lost my internet connection. Otherwise, I would do it.
By quarter, by game situation, run or pass. Maybe it's not there in the splits.
I'm sure Bink's got it somewhere.
Bink's going to text in a second.
Yeah.
That's a Bink. You know what? That's a great point. That is a Binkley stat.
I got some. Let me see. This is where I normally get some of my stuff. So let me see.
Time slot. I've got a late afternoon time slot. Does that do anything for you? As in evening.
All right.
In evening games, he's 27 and
25 primetime games since 20. He started more than that. Since 2022, he started 25 primetime games. That's just
that's not just Sunday Night Football, but
no, but primetime. Yeah, Sunday I don't have it narrowed down, but 25
between Monday night and Sunday night, you're saying,
and Thursday night
yeah,
since 2022, the most of any quarterback in the NFL. He's 19-6, by the way.
In his career, he has played 39 games on either Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday Night Football. He's 27-12 in those games. It is by far his worst winning percentage. When he plays in the early window, he's 31-8. When he plays in the afternoon window, he's 32-6. When he plays in primetime games,
better opponents
he is.
usually.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not.
I will say offensively though. Again, they when they go up against offenses that score 30 or more, they outscore their opponents by 9.6 points per game. When they go up against a top tier offense, typically the Chiefs' offense bar is raised.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I'm back and forth on this game, similar to the ways I was on the Ravens one, where do I think they'll win, do I think they'll lose, and and I was waiting on a little update on Xavier Worthy.
Well, I want to get that too at 1:00 because that's a huge factor. Someone even on the text line is fair. Like we can play the schedule game with the Lions too. Who have they beat? They beat Cincinnati, they beat the Browns, and they beat the Ravens and the Bears. It's not exactly like they have a bunch of great wins on their resume.
But they got 4 wins,
Well, sure.
So
they won 4 in a row.
They get
the Lions are very good.
By that argument, yes. The only team the Lions have lost to is a good team. They lost to the one good team on their schedule. I would say, though, the Bears are mediocre at the very least. They're 2-2. They're not like
they beat them by 30.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're 500. The Ravens and the Browns
are all the Chiefs' losses by teams that would be in the playoffs right now.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's also to the point. That concerns me for Sunday night.
Concerns me,
but
also
it means, in the playoffs.
But it also means that this is
that's unlike normal Chiefs teams.
I understand, but but 2 of those they didn't have Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. And all of them they didn't have Rashee Rice. And eventually
so
they will have him.
It's all going to get sorted out over the next couple of weeks. This is what's fun to talk about. None of us have the.
What's the timeline when you will fully judge what you think this team is?
After the Bills game.
I knew it. Yeah, it's a logical. That's the same answer I'd give.
After the Bills
if
game.
you made me, it's such a good marker.
Someone likes the drums. So you guys need drums playing in the background at all times during your show. Is it faint enough that it doesn't overpower us? If so, then it's perfect. Kind of nice little background music.
It is like a little bit of background music. That's the way to describe it.
Does it feel like, every time I just feel like I'm at a high school football game or something?
Well, yeah, the Chiefs Rumbles out here, Community America Credit Union. It is their Red Friday tailgate. Goes till 1:00. So if you're getting ready to hit your lunch hour and you live out south here near Raymore,
tacos in a minute.
Yep, they got a great taco truck, food truck out here. Chance to win tickets to Chiefs and Lions. Some other swag. I saw some people picking up some shirts as well out of that big ATM. And just hanging out, having a good time. They got some yard games, some cornhole, some giant Jenga, I think, as well out of the corner. The weather's beautiful now.
What is your favorite yard game?
So cornhole is a go-to for sure. Okay. The giant Jenga, it just gets boring after a while. That's not my favorite.
I'm good for like a round, but there's a limit to how many times I'm willing to play it. Just asking.
You like playing? What's the name of the game? I played it when I was in college. It was more of a outdoor party thing. Frisbee, beer bottle on it.
Beer pole?
Sure.
I think that's what we called it.
Yeah.
I think just like bags and
that's
cornhole can be called multiple things.
That's fun.
I told you I broke someone's thumb playing that. I threw a Frisbee so hard I broke someone's thumb, and
what are you doing?
I have not played it since.
Why are you always max effort on these yard games?
Everybody's
trying to hang out. Everybody's just trying to hang out, have a good time. You're having max effort here.
It's who I am. Yeah, I don't know. I'm the Cam Scattaboo of nonsense games when people are just hanging out with each other. I don't have an off switch. I like to play. I play to win. Mm-hmm. You know what's bad is that my son is already that way, and I don't remember teaching him to be that way.
It's great to be competitive. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, in the yard games, you don't need to,
He turns everything into a game. We'll be there and be like, all right, so we're going to try to do a trick shot. We're going to try to make this basketball, like this foam basketball, land into the cup. If I make it on the first try, you owe me $5. If I don't, I owe you $5. I'm like, I'm not even encouraging this behavior. He's just like, it's his instinct to want to bet on it.
Up next, guys, we're going to get to what's trending. We'll talk about George Karlaftis, where he stacks up in the NFL, plus some golden locks for the weekend.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Josh Simmons. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
When you're looking to spend time outside, like today, for instance, it's gorgeous outside today. You could be spending that time outside in your dream outdoor space thanks to all-weather decks. Do what I did. Have them come over and take a look at your space. Give you the options for what it could look like, what a dream space for you could look like. A fire pit this time of year, maybe an outdoor kitchen. No matter what it is, All-Weather Decks can take care of that project for you. They're a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Award. They are locally owned and operated, and they are ready to handle any project you might want to work with. They've got project pictures over there, maps of the jobs they've done throughout town, and they give you a free estimate just by scheduling and having them come take a look at your space. Again, your dream space is around the corner thanks to All-Weather Decks. Give them a call, 913-206-1974, or online at allweatherdecks.net.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these amazing game day specials. 14-inch two-topping pizzas for just $12 and $4 domestic OP cups. The other place with 5 great Kansas City Metro locations.
Cody and Gold are broadcasting live today from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday Tailgate in Raymore, located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to the Chiefs versus Lions game this weekend. Only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, this is Doug. I'm a patient with Heartland Men's Health. I've been doing low T treatment for just under a year now. I've always dedicated my life to work. I've always found the time to go to gym. I'm 46 years old. My energy level has been on a roller coaster. With work, when we would have like long, stressful meetings, I would notice that I was very exhausted and drained afterwards. And with the low T treatment, I'm not as stressed. I started to feel a lot more level-headed. The roller coaster kind of went away. I think Heartland Men's Health, they really have it figured out. The professional staff, I think it's a wonderful treatment for men of any age. And it's definitely a benefit I'm going to continue.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't sell lab-grown diamonds because they represent everything that can be bad about the jewelry industry and are the opposite of why my family is in it. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. I opened my diamond and custom jewelry shop to build relationships of trust with my customers. Prior to opening House of Diamonds, I worked at other jewelry stores and saw how that trust can be betrayed. And now I'm seeing it again with those who are selling lab-grown diamonds for thousands, nearly all of it profit, knowing that they are worth nothing the second they leave the store. So if you ever want to sell that lab diamond or want to trade up, you have literally nothing to sell or trade. That will never happen at House of Diamonds. We guarantee a trade-in value of 100% of the price you paid us for your hand-selected natural diamond. Don't become a lab-grown diamond victim. Learn more at mybigrock.com and then come see me at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick up in store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults focused on the future. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Listen to the Chiefs and Lions on Sunday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:20 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Number one on what's trending here on Cody and Gold is that Cody is late so he can get some food. He went and made sure he got himself some tacos.
That's right.
During the break. They look amazing, by the way. We're hanging out at Community America Credit Union in Raymore off of 71 in Foxwood. Red Friday tailgate goes till 1 o'clock. Great food. Casey Wolf out here. Chiefs cheerleaders out here. A chance to win Chiefs tickets for the Chiefs-Lions game on Sunday. It's beautiful weather. We're having a great time. I will also mention the reason why I got a little extra pep in my step during the break. Some good news to pass along. Multiple reports from those at practice today, at least visually. We don't know to what extent. Xavier Worthy returned to practice today. So yesterday he did not practice at all. Today, at minimum, he's going to be limited because he is there. We'll see if he's a full participant, but the fact that he's limited is a great sign. It goes back to what we were discussing earlier. I honestly think there's a chance that the ankle swelled up last week. He tweaked it in the game. They want to be careful with it, give him a couple days off, take it easy. They need him on Sunday. This tells me he's playing on Sunday, but we'll hear from Andy Reid at 1 o'clock today.
Next up on What's Trending, obviously playoff baseball last night. Dodgers won late. I was really hoping the Phillies would make that a series. They won in 11, in the bottom of the 11, 2-1 on their end. The Cubs closed out evened up their series with the Brewers 6-0 yesterday as well. So just one game tonight. Mariners-Tigers, series tied at 2 games apiece. And then tomorrow we'll get Cubs-Brewers, also tied at 2 games apiece. They will await, obviously, the teams that have already moved on, including the Dodgers, and earlier in the week, the Blue Jays.
Local college football, we already talked about Missouri and Alabama. That is the biggest game out of the local, one of the biggest games of the entire weekend. That one gets going at 11 o'clock. 6:30 kickoff with KU and Texas Tech. Texas Tech, number 9 team in the country. As for Kansas State, I don't know if you saw some of the reports this week. The big story with them is this Dylan Edwards injury, and rumors that maybe would he hit the portal or not? Is he hurt? Is he thinking about a red shirt? There's all sorts of speculation.
They've got TCU this weekend, right, at 2:30?
Yeah, it's a 2:30 kickoff at home in Manhattan against TCU.
Next up on What's Trending, the Savannah Bananas announced that they are coming back to Kauffman Stadium.
All right, there we go.
Next year as a part of their tour next year. They also worked on a partnership with the Negro League Baseball Museums to bring back the Indianapolis Clowns, which I thought was super cool. So Savannah Bananas coming back to Kauffman. You said you had an awesome time.
My nephew loved it. I saw they're doing a big college tour this year, too. Yep. They're going to be up in Lincoln, out in Boise State on the Blue and everything. So very, very cool to see the Savannah Bananas doing that. That is What's Trending here on Cody and Gold. We're hanging out at this awesome Red Friday tailgate, and a gentleman just brought by a very, very cool vehicle that Casey Wolf is in right now. I don't know what year that is. You can tell us. Deuce Coupe? Oh, that's very Beach Boys Deuce Coupe. And it's
like
all
a custom hot rod that's got all the Chiefs Super Bowl championships on it.
That is very, very cool. Very, very cool. You never know what you're going to see at these Red Friday tailgates, man. I love it. I love it. These are a ton of fun. We will talk about the Lions side of things here in just a little bit. In 25 minutes, Mark Ryan from 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit. He's an in-game host for the Detroit Lions Network. I want to get his thoughts on how they're viewing the Chiefs. How are they talking about Kansas City this week? And some of the questions we have with their injuries, Jared Goff, how are teams going to attack him a little bit? All that coming up in about 25 minutes or so. But let's focus in on George Karlaftis, one of those individuals who, of course, will be trying to get after Jared Goff on Sunday. And Karlaftis is an interesting spot. He's been criticized quite a bit because overall the front four has not gotten pressure. But then you dive into some of his numbers, and it's kind of a confusing story for him so far this year.
Tell me what the problem is people have with George Karlaftis. Can you tell me?
Well, he's pacing.
I keep seeing people complain about him, and all the stats say he's doing fine.
He's pacing for 12.5 sacks. He's tied with Aiden Hutchinson for the most pressures in football, and yet I feel like people are talking as if he's had a bad start to the season. I think overall it's the frustration with Chris Jones and Chris Jones's frustration because he's getting double-teamed because opposite George Karlaftis, there's not a lot going on. Charles Omenihu, I had very high hopes this season. He has been a fairly mostly a no-show to this point in time. Mike Dan has been banged up. We've discussed that. It's too early to get a whole lot of Omar Norman Lott. Hopefully he's available Sunday, though. I think that will help a little bit. And so it's all gone towards the guy that got paid this offseason. That's what it is, Cody, even though he is actually handling his business.
It's wrong. I'll just tell you right now, if you're one of the people complaining about George Karlaftis, it is misplaced frustration. You should have it for Omenihu, Dana. Chris Jones has performed below. I'm not saying he's been a bad player, but below his standard of play. Right now, George Karlaftis, after being paid, is on pace for a career high in sacks, a career high in tackles, a career high in tackles for loss. He has 6 already this year. He had 9 in 17 games last year. He's on pace for a career high in tackle or QB hits. He currently has 12. He had 28 all of last year. What am I missing something here?
I think
what's the issue with George Karlaftis? He's had a very nice season. The pass rush stinks. I'm not denying that. But that has been pretty much everyone but George Karlaftis that's been the issue.
Again, I think it's the Chris Jones part of it. People are used to seeing Chris Jones come up with the game-sealing sack, the big play, and people want to see that from Karlaftis because he got paid. I think that is what it is. But when you look at
the Frank Clark moment, they want him to have like the moment. Okay.
Yeah, but if you look at the trending stats, I mean, I disagree with anybody saying, well, for what he's getting paid, he should have more sacks. Karlaftis pacing for 12.5, we would all lock that in before the season. If I would have told you the minute he got paid this offseason he was going to get 12.5 sacks, everybody would have said, oh, that's great. I will take it. I think it is more the frustration with the overall defensive front.
The defensive front. I think it's both.
Someone said he gets home, but he doesn't finish when it matters most. So again,
he's finishing more than anyone else on the team.
Should he be pacing for 15 sacks? I mean, I think with what he's making, 12.5 sack season is actually right on par with where he should be.
Look, would I like him to turn into Max Crosby and be 15 to 20 sacks in a given year? Sure. I would more, but I mean, again, his performance has been better than at any other point he was paid. So unless you thought paying him was a huge mistake and they should be nowhere near giving him a check, I don't know what more you could possibly ask for I understand you could ask for a little bit more. He's doing his job. It's misplaced. That's all I'm saying. It's misplaced. Chris Jones needs to do more, and literally every other member of the defensive line needs to do more. It is not that you're not getting enough out of George Karlaftis. It's that you're getting contribution from pretty much nowhere outside of Karlaftis and Chris Jones.
I agree.
That's the issue. The problem is that most teams have a third pass rusher Who's the third pass rusher on this team?
It should be Charles Omenihu.
Well, it's definitely not, though.
But
maybe.
That's who it should be, and he has the most experience. He also has shown, out of that group, has shown the most. The other guys.
I guess Drew Tranquil's got the third most sacks on this
team.
team.
I think it's him.
No, I just meant I was just like.
I thought you were asking who is the third, not who actually has the.
No. I was asking Cole.
Okay,
I was just then pointing out who on the team has a sack outside of that. Right now, the leader on the team is George Karlaftis at 3.5 sacks. Second on the team is Drew Tranquil with 2. Chris Jones is tied for third with everyone else. Jones, Tillery, Omenihu, Watson, Omar, Norman, Lott have 1. The pass rush is not George Karlaftis. Matter of fact, if he was getting more contribution from everyone else, you think maybe he could walk into a sack where, maybe somebody else creates the pressure and they run into George Karlaftis? Why has he got to do all the work? That's all. I just think it's misplaced. I think we've actually understated the very good season, the good development season we are getting out of George Karlaftis. I actually take it as a positive the way he's played this year.
Yeah, someone says Jones is not contributing. What are we talking about? No, that's the point. That's the whole point. People are being critical of George Karlaftis, and we're saying we don't really.
I'm saying he's having a really nice season, and we should be happy with the development of George Karlaftis.
Don't get the criticism towards Karlaftis. I get the criticism towards Chris Jones. I think context, like always, is required. Why he has struggled to get pressure. He's getting double teamed at this ridiculous rate. At some point in time, you do ask him to get to the counting stats, and maybe that happens later on in the year. But how do you get there? Yeah, it absolutely has to be that there's a third option. I tend to think it's Charles Omenihu still. Like if you're asking if it's ever going to get corrected, I think the only way it does is if Charles Omenihu flips a switch and gets going.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. That's the only save that or they trade for one, and that guy immediately steps in, and that hasn't been the case the last couple of years. Before we get to your golden lock, real quick on the Xavier Worthy stuff, was he going to be a swing? Like if you had found out today Xavier Worthy didn't practice, would that have been enough for you to change a pick hypothetically?
It would have been, yeah.
It would have been enough for you to be like, no, actually,
it would have been.
Outside of the Chiefs.
It would have been just because I saw the offense without him and without Rice earlier this year. And all the good thoughts about the offense trending in the right direction, in large part that's because suddenly Travis Kelce is way more of a weapon when he's not asked to be the guy. Suddenly Tyquan Thornton is way more of a weapon when he's not the only guy you got to worry about with speed on the field. So, there's a trickle-down effect. And so if Worthy was – we both now think he's going to play because he's at practice. So it would have been enough for me to absolutely start looking at taking the Lions.
Gold, do you think he'd let you drive it?
No chance. I don't want to drive it and break it. It's an amazing.
He said
this hot rod is seriously. It is a very, 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 very cool.
I'll send a picture to you, Drew. That way you can see what it looks like. But it's. He said he only drives it. He said he only drives it between this stretch of the highway, between this, and he said the Sonic.
Yeah.
And so
he said
that's the only stretch of highway he says, or the only stretch of road he drives it on. I don't know, man. It's like if you put all that work into it, I feel like I'd want to drive it more.
Yeah, but the reason why it looks so beautiful and is in great condition is because he doesn't drive.
Yeah, it's like a lot of those Mecum cars where the Mecum ones that are like the 90 or the 69 Camaros or whatnot, those only have 7,000 miles on them.
We should ask him. Right now he's got all the Super Bowl titles, the graphic fit on the door on the driver's side. What happens if they win another one?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Going to go smaller font? Is going to go smaller font?
I don't know.
Because right now it fits perfectly.
What would happen if they won it last year?
That's what I'm saying.
It does. Maybe that's maybe that's the only decal part. The rest of it, Super Bowl champions, is true, and maybe it's a decal on the Roman numerals, and you could take that off and just replace those.
Okay, maybe so.
Worth a shot. He's letting the cheerleaders sit in it.
Well, of course. Casey Wolf was already in there too.
So he lets you get in the car.
Well, we could do a video from the car, I'm sure. Yeah.
I want to be driving it though.
No.
I can drive
He's not going to let you drive his car.
How sure are you?
He should not let you drive the car.
He should not let me drive it?
No chance.
You think it's a 0% chance?
Yes, I think he would say absolutely not if you asked him.
That's tough.
While we start some golden locks, why don't you take a bite of the tacos here?
Yes,
from
please.
and let us know how these are. We are at Community America Credit Union in Raymore off of 71 at Foxwood. We got lunch till 1 o'clock. We've got Chiefs cheerleaders, KC Wolf. We've got we got the Chiefs Rumble. We've got the big ATM, your chance to win Chiefs Lions tickets. It's a gorgeous day. Stop on by. You got a lunch hour or whatever. Hope to see you guys out here. We'll be broadcasting till 2. Let's get to the golden locks.
Just because you love something doesn't mean you're good at it. But Alex Gold and betting on sports? Pretty good. It's time for Golden Locks.
So Golden Locks, I want to first start with Circa Millions. All right, I want to start with Circa Millions. And by the way,
where we stand as a group?
Yeah, and by the way, Golden Locks are brought to you by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be is coming soon to Missouri with Circa Sports. We are on a heater. We are on a major heater as a group.
13-2 our last 3 weeks. 15-5 our last 4.
All right. The 6 of us involved are currently tied for 98th out of 5,800 entries.
Hey,
we are currently
1.5%.
We are in the money currently. Now we got a long ways to go. All right, but we are in a great spot right now, especially after an 0-5 start and the trash talk that ensued because of it. I just want to point out we're doing very well. All right, a couple ones for you guys. I gave some of these out on That Betting Show, which is also back Wednesday nights, presented by Circa Sports, 6 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Let's get to a couple of these here. In particular, New England -3.5 at New Orleans. Love this game. New Orleans is coming off their first win. The Patriots coming off a massive win against Buffalo. I know you might be a little nervous. You say, hey, is this a trap here for New England? The fact the Saints won makes me feel better that that's not going to happen. The Saints already got the, we got to
Are they going to play 2 good football games in a row?
Correct. I don't think they will. New England, to me, now believes in what Mike Vrabel is doing. It's working. Drake May's playing with a ton of confidence. I think both their backs in Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson will have good games. Stevens has got the fumbling problem, but they continue to give him the ball because he's been very effective, actually, this year. I like New England on the road quite a bit. It's my favorite bet of the entire weekend. It's one I submitted for our Circa Millions
We'll see if there's some other people who agree with you. I don't mind it.
Another one.
I do fear it for the reasons you mentioned fearing it, but that doesn't mean I'm against betting it.
Another one, I mentioned Buffalo. How about Atlanta +4.5 against Buffalo? This is Monday Night Football. It's a doubleheader. Atlanta to cover the 4.5. I actually think there's a chance they upset the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you're down on Buffalo,
but Atlanta +4.5. The Bills' defense is why this game will stay close. The Bills cannot stop the run. Does Atlanta have a pretty good rushing attack? I would say
Bijan
so.
Robinson
and
doesn't
Tyler Algier as well. So I expect Atlanta to hang with the Buffalo Bills, even push them maybe to an upset, but the actual lock is Atlanta +4.5 against the Bills. And then over on the college side of things, Iowa State -3.5 at Colorado. Your Colorado Buffaloes. Iowa State's coming off a loss to Cincinnati, who maybe is better than we all thought. I'm not sold on the QB situation there in Colorado. Deion also, unfortunately, had to miss some time this week. Had a serious procedure because he's had some issues once again. The blood clots, had a 4-hour operation on his leg. It's very serious stuff there. That's just another side part of this. Give me Iowa State -3.5. And the last one I gave you earlier today, Alabama, Missouri. We went back and forth on it. Alabama -3.5 against Mizzou. This is going to be a great football game. I just think the secondary of Missouri hasn't seen a passing attack like this.
What's the over/under on that one?
I do not know off the top of my head.
That might be where I'm
I do not know off the top of my head.
51.5 might be the number.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a guess or if that's another line.
Okay.
51.5, yeah.
There you go.
I think I'd lean over on that. Is anyone else thinking maybe the total's the play there?
I think I would lean over. Actually, I would lean under. I'm sorry. I think 27-24, which is right at 51, actually. Could be the toughest score.
Offering one person on the text line said they'll let me drive their 1970 Super B pistol.
Don't do it.
They say they'll let me do that.
What?
But another person on the text line said, easy, Volkswagen guy, you can't handle a real car. So I don't know what kind of. Also, Alex has changed. You know,
You know what I'm driving now? You know what I'm driving now?
I saw you driving an Expedition.
I got the new Expedition from Shawnee Mission.
We talked about this in the show.
It's beautiful.
Changed.
It's
I
beautiful.
saw you back into a spot. What happened?
Oh,
we've talked about
here
this.
we
The
are.
most selfish of drivers.
we
Let's
are.
the backer ins.
What? I agree with
let's
Cody.
just inconvenience everybody.
I agree with
so
Cody.
that it can be slightly nicer for me.
I agree with
well,
Cody.
Well.
I
Alex
agree
gets
with
a
Cody.
big car instead of his Mazda, and all of a sudden he's backing into parking spots.
What is wrong with? By the way, I backed into a parking spot when nobody else was around, so it did not impact anybody else. And when you have a bigger vehicle you're driving right now, I did this with the F-150. I'm now doing it with the Expedition. Backing in makes it way easier, and it's got all this technology, the 360 cameras and all this. It's very easy. Yeah, of course I backed in. Of course.
I agree with you, Cody. I'm on your side of the fence on this.
Oh, come on.
It's a selfish act, Drew.
The other day, I'm dead serious. I pulled into my apartment complex, and somebody was in front of me. They pulled over. I knew what they were doing. They took an angle over the left. Oh, this person's.
It's safer if you're driving a bigger vehicle. It's actually safer for everybody when they get back in their car later that they're pulling out of the spot instead of trying to back up.
I understand that, but 2 minutes later, I was finally able to go straight and continue along my way. It took a little
But
bit.
it's also like, people use that as a crutch. You don't care about the safety of the other drivers. You just like it. You like it for you. You're not doing it for everyone on the road. You're not like, this isn't some pious act of you
it's a convenience.
to revert.
Look at me backing up my nice car.
I'm doing it to save you, the people.
It's a convenience thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it doesn't.
But it's inconvenient for others.
Nothing I did today inconvenienced anybody.
Today, I would agree. But I would say, generally,
by the way, check out my social media if you want. I did a video on the exterior of the new Expedition while we're talking about it from Shimon Ford. They completely redesigned it. The grill is pretty sick. Like it's pretty badass. The new grill that they have on that, and they also have a tailgate that is split now. So if you're going to Arrowhead on Sunday, but anyway. Yeah, Cody, I can't believe that take. You know?
I think we've talked about it on the air before. I don't even think this is like the first time I've uttered that sentence.
Did you guys see, while we have a little bit of time before break, did you guys see what I texted you last night? The Uno card thing?
Well, I did when I woke up this morning. You texted us at 12:30. I was asleep, dude. I was asleep. Cody was asleep.
No, I know that. I'm not saying them, but I'm just asking if you saw it in general. I think this is the way that we should play Uno from now on. I can imagine the games would be epic with these rules that Billie Eilish uses with her custom cards.
I do like that. I do like the idea of like a custom board game with like the rules you want to play with. That does sound fun because like Monopoly wrote into the rules, home rules apply. Check with whoever because everybody kind of plays. Some games have like a variance quotient to them where, right? My family, Gold, you and I play Uno together. If we're playing just me and you, skips or I get to keep playing. Skip, 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 reverse, skip, skip. I get to play as many cards as I get until they're out. I understand that's not in the rules of Uno. I don't care. That's how we play it. Her rules, remind me, Drew, what were the rules for the custom deck of cards?
Okay, so there are 4 different types of ones. One of them is reveal hands. So everyone plays with their hands face up on the table until you start your next turn. So everybody gets to see your cards, which I think would be a lot of fun.
Interesting.
There's
because then you can, like, if you can keep track a little bit, you can know they got a red one left, sure.
Trick Wild is, this one's interesting. Choose a color. If the next player doesn't play a card of that color or doesn't have one, you can play again, which I think is fun.
Kind of like that. Okay.
The Wild Color Challenge is you choose a color. All other players must show you a card of that color from their hand or draw 2 cards. So you have an option. Either show us some in your hand
I wouldn't just show. Unless someone has Uno, I don't know why. Like, unless you have Uno, I don't know why you're
And then there's more to it. If all players show a card of that color, then you, the person who played the Wild Color Challenge, have to draw 3 cards yourself.
Yeah.
Then the Wild Pass color is the other one, where you choose a color and every player passes all of their cards of that color to the player on their left, so your hand doesn't stay the same. I think the reveal hands would be pretty epic, where it's like, all right, everybody's hands, let's see your cards, and you can. Oh, I think it would be a lot of fun. It's different. I like it.
I'm open to a variation of a game.
Yeah.
We discussed this in the games.
A game between
a game family.
A game between the 8 of us at the station, I think, would be pretty awesome with these types of Uno rules.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Should we have a deck of cards at the office?
I did see the text you sent. I also saw you. I didn't realize you.
I did text you late. I did text you late last night.
Yeah, I saw you were drawing last. You posted something on Instagram. You you drew yourself
drawing a picture.
Your name.
Yeah.
Explain that one.
So I every now and then I have like a drawing pad, if you will, or whatever. Real pencils, by the way, not like an iPad or whatever. So I was like, well, I kind of want to draw something. I'm kind of, I just want to draw while I'm just hanging out watching this Giants and Eagles game. And I was looking at my arm, and of course I have one of my tattoos is on my arm, and I was like, this would be cool if I drew myself, my arm, or my hand drawing my own name. So I drew part of my name, and then I drew essentially an outline of what my hand and arm holding a pencil is. So if you follow me on Instagram, I guess you can go and check that out too, or whatever. But yeah,
your A-rank's very good. I actually was impressed.
Thank you.
I was very impressed. I just didn't know.
I can't draw.
I can't draw at all. Yeah, it's terrible.
My brother's better than I am, but yeah, I used to enjoy drawing a little bit when I was growing up, so I'm not too bad, I guess.
Okay.
You're playing. Yeah, that's the thing. I noticed it was the story was like
School
1
night.
1 a.m. School. Yeah, school night. School night. What are you doing? Anyway, all right. Let's get back into Chiefs and Lions. We are going to go up to Detroit here and check in with Mark Ryan from 97.1 The Ticket there, get their perspective on the Chiefs, plus the random question of the day right here as we continue broadcasting live from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday Tailgate. We're off the 71 in Foxwood here in Raymore. Still time to come by and grab some lunch. Chance to win Chiefs Lions tickets right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. People don't trust car buyers. People think the price is going to be wrong, and people think it's going to be a hassle. Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is what we do at GiveMeTheVin.com, and that's what makes us America's best car buyer. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now and get a quote on yours.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Dane and Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane and Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Century Roofing remains the best roofing company to call for insurance claims from storm damage, roof repair, and inspections throughout Kansas City. They were just voted as both the best roofing company in Johnson County for the 4th straight year and the best roofing company in all of Kansas City by readers of the Johnson County Post and the KC Star. So trust the pillars of strength and go with locally owned and female-owned Century Roofing at CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-485-7220. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-485-7220 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-485-7220 to see if you qualify. That's 800-485-7220.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Our Red Friday tailgate continues here on Cody and Gold. We are out at Community America Credit Union in Raymore off 71 in Foxwood. Got a half hour left of the tailgate. So you can still come on by, grab some great food from the taco food truck we got out here. The big ATM, the line's not even that bad for it right now. Chance to get some swag and still a chance to win another pair of tickets to the Chiefs Lions game on Sunday night. Casey Wolf hanging out here. Chiefs Rumble, you can kind of hear them in the background, I'm sure, of the broadcast. And the Chiefs cheerleaders, we're having a good time out here on a Red Friday. We've been talking Chiefs Lions from our point of view. I want to get perspective up in Detroit. Someone that I've known for a couple of years. I shouldn't even say a couple of years at this point. Probably, I guess, 8 to 10 years now. He's done radio in Houston, some other places. He's now in Detroit. He's the in-game host for the Detroit Lions Network. Mark Ryan from 97.1 The Ticket. Mark, it's good to have you on the show, man. How things up in Detroit these days? You guys got a baseball game today, so I guess that's probably where most of the attention is.
Cody and Gold and Game 5 with the Detroit Tigers. Alex, I do a Behind the Enemy Line segment. I was going to have you on, but I'm on a little PTO right now for a high school reunion. Don't you dare guess how many years.
Well, I can't believe you should have told me. I wouldn't have bugged you. It's a day off for you.
No, it's okay. You're going to pay it back and then some.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Honestly, though, what is the vibe in Detroit though on the baseball side too? I guess we could start there, just because the collapse, obviously. Then you get the series win against the Guardians, and then now a win away from getting to an ALCS.
You remember Jared Goff last offseason said the media likes to relish in negativity? Well, the fan base does as well. There was a percentage of the fan base that didn't want them to make the playoffs, that didn't want them to advance because they didn't feel like it was deserved. At this point, now the fan base doesn't even know what to make of it. There's a faction that says the season isn't a success unless they get further than usual. Guys, look, success is where performance meets expectation, and the reality is this has been now an ALDS team 2 years in a row. Last couple of years with a 21st and 19th ranked payroll, respectively, they've made it all the way to the Final 8. They're one game away from being, in my opinion, the best lineup in baseball, maybe save for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you got the best pitcher on the mound. Now, tonight, Seattle's 3-0 against Tarek Skubal. Can you imagine beating Tarek Skubal 4-0 in a best-of-7 series? They win tonight. They will achieve just that. My money is on Sir Tarek, however.
It's what's crazy about it is, like, with Skubal, it's not like he's pitched bad in these games, but it feels like the reputation's starting to be like, well, but not normal Tarek Skubal when it comes to the playoffs, right? Like when you talk about the difference of a half a run and earned run average. Sorry for the horn in the background. But you get the idea, Mark. Like, at what point is it a little bit different that, Tarek Skubal's not quite the same guy in the playoffs?
No, the horns are honking at me for the Kansas City Chiefs test I'm about to have. So that's what's going on. No worries there. No, Tarek Skubal has a 1.84 ERA in the postseason. He was 2.23. The problem is, for whatever reason, when he pitches, the 40-year-old virgin scores more than the Detroit Tigers. That's the issue here. So they've got to figure out a way to get runs on the board behind him. That bullpen, senior smoke, Anthony Munoz, is essentially unhittable. So how can you have a 1-2 run lead by the sixth inning? With Tarek Skubal on the bump, that should be easy.
Score
but for
one
some
or two
reason,
runs,
with these guys, it isn't.
Yeah, that's really what it feels like. Let's get to the football end. You had mentioned, I'll talk about the Lions first and then maybe what people in Detroit are saying about the Chiefs. The Lions in general, how serious are their secondary injuries, and how much do we think that could play a factor for them on Sunday?
The secondary will have to get better to die, guys. It's that bad. And I think this is a disastrous matchup for the Detroit Lions, given that that's the case. You've heard the stat this week, 7.5 yards of play for the Chiefs against the Jaguars, the first time in 30 years that a team hasn't won with that statistic. This week, you're without your top two corners in Detroit, DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold. And, oh, by the way, your all-world safety tandem that is number one in the NFL, according to most, one guy is not practicing, one guy has limited practice. So if Chiefs fans weren't already salivating, plus you have wounded animal mode going to Kansas City in a feeling where, you guys have seen the numbers, you guys have seen the odds. It's not likely you make the playoffs if you're 2-4. If I'm quite honest with you, and Kansas City Chiefs fans will think I'm kissing up to them, I think the Lions might be cruising for a bruising in this one.
Yeah, that would be something a lot of people here would be feeling pretty good about come Monday morning after this past week and talk around Kansas City about how they let one get away against Jacksonville. I think you're exactly right, though, about where the Chiefs are at record-wise. At some point, you got to start winning some football games or the math just doesn't math for you. We're talking to Mark Ryan of 97 won the ticket up in Detroit. All right, this Lions team, and you mentioned you think it's a bad matchup. Week one, everybody panicked. It felt like from outside in Detroit, their performance against the Packers. But this offense is fully back, right? And so is the feeling there that the Lions are going to be in a shootout against Kansas City, or do you guys get the sense that this is going to be a lower-scoring game?
No, it's definitely not a low-scoring game, although it's interesting. Jared Goff is the lone starter that Patrick Mahomes hasn't beaten yet with multiple starts against. So that's really interesting. They've got the second most points through this number of games of any team in NFL history right now. So my belief is if Detroit can win this game, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a two-digit number with the first digit being 3. That's the only way they can win this game. But the offense, expected to take a big step back with a loss of Ben Johnson, has done anything but. Guys, unbelievably, everyone makes a big deal out of losing the coordinators, and, you guys have lost coordinators, everyone wanting to poach from the Andy Reid tree. Would you believe in 5 instances in NFL history where a team has lost both coordinators? They've only been on average 1 game worse the following year. Now, with Detroit's schedule, you're not expecting 14-3 after 15-2, but reports of the demise were greatly exaggerated as well. The defense with Hutch looks much improved. The key is, as Dan Campbell has told us in the media this week, to get to the quarterback, to get to Patrick Mahomes one step earlier with all the injuries in the secondary.
Is Aiden Hutchinson back to being Aiden Hutchinson? Like, are the Chiefs facing an Aiden Hutchinson that is a defensive player of the year type of guy?
He is rounding into that form, and it's unbelievable to see. And Detroit has had issues with cut blocks going on at his legs and at his knees that have upset everybody in the Detroit Lions organization. But he is rounding into form, and I would say, guys, he's 90 to 95% of what we saw last year when he was on record pace.
when you looked at the first game, because in the other 4 games, I'll admit, the Lions' schedule is pretty soft when you start looking at the opponents and who they faced and the quarterbacks that they faced in the first 5 games. What went wrong in the Green Bay game? Like if Kansas City's saying this goes wrong or this goes wrong for Detroit again, Kansas City's going to get the win. What did Green Bay do to slow down Detroit that nobody else can?
I think it was more just the fact that it was first game of the year, a lot of new faces in new places, not in sync, not ready to go. Green Bay's looked anything but unbeatable since that particular game. So my take is you play that game again right now, the result looks a little bit different. They didn't protect well. That new Threetta in the middle there, Graham Glasgow, Christian Mahogany, Tate Ratledge had a really bad game. They have been much, much better. Mahogany posted a PFF score over 90 last week. So they were finding their way, finding their chemistry, and finding their cohesion. Of course, with Jones, you've got your work cut out for you, one of the more unblockable players in the league. But they have been doing much better. They've been incredibly balanced. And would you believe that it's expected that Patrick Mahomes will have 24 more pass attempts than Detroit in this game, which is a reflection of how well that offensive line is performing and how solid that ground game has been.
When you look at the ground game, I guess obviously just nothing's changed. Montgomery and Gibbs are the best duo in the league.
I mean, I feel that. I mean, it's the old school thunder and lightning combination. Demo is your guy that's always going to pick up your hard, tough yards on 3rd and 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think this is the season that he becomes a household name. I think he goes down by the end of the season, guys, as the most explosive player in the National Football League. And that's their MO. That's their identity. I always feel like it's so important for teams to have an identity. And from Dan Campbell's first press conference, where he said, we're going to bite your kneecaps off, the team plays like that. They began the Dan Campbell tenure 4-19-1. They've been 39-10 in the regular season since then. Their play is an embodiment of his personality, which is why Detroit has been so successful.
Mark Ryan, 97-1, the ticket there in Detroit. Appreciate you calling in. Enjoy the reunion. Sounds like it's just a 10-year reunion,
Just a 10-year reunion. Pay no attention to the gray that you see. It's merely a mirage. All is well over here.
There you go. Thanks, Mark. That's Mark Ryan, in-game host for the Detroit Lions Network, and that's a little perspective on the Detroit side of things. And we've had a couple years, not many, where you've got baseball on fire, October baseball mixed with football, and it's the best. I'm very jealous because today most of the city, I'm sure, is focused, if not all, on the Tigers, but you also have a Lions team that is a legit Super Bowl contender as well at the same time. Those are fun times. Those are very, very fun times.
I'd like the Royals to be back in the postseason, please. I missed it already this year because he's talking about like Detroit being in the ALDS back-to-back years. It's like the Royals were in the ALDS just last year.
That and the
They
Pistons
got past the wild card round. They were
you're
playing
right.
in that.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about
the Pistons. Were just in the
Pistons.
playoffs. Basketball season's about to start. It's a good time to be in Detroit.
They got a really good young player in Detroit, so that helps.
And I think hockey's down, but Detroit can be a pretty good sports town to say the least. Up there. By the way, Sports Talk on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Let's get to it, Drew.
Random question.
Random question of the day brought to you by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. So for you, Gold, you Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. God, I had really struggled on that one. Or over on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I've been staying on the chats the entire time trying to make sure you're squared away. That way we can still interact with you even when we're on remote here at Community America. The question I have for you today is one of, I would say, a concern for fellow people of the human race, but whether or not I was in the wrong for not caring. I was hanging out with someone the other day, and they were asking me about the situation that was taking place at Mount Everest, where all these people, if you guys didn't see it, there's like 1,000 people who were stranded up on Mount Everest.
Oh, wow. I did not.
As a snowstorm came through, got stuck up there before they were eventually helped back down. And my initial response for anybody that wasn't a Sherpa and had to do it for their job was, I don't care. I mean, F-A-F-O. Like, I'm sorry, you go up to a giant mountain where you need an oxygen can. I don't feel real bad that you're stuck up there. I don't care to hear about it. I feel nothing for these people.
Wow, Cody.
You're stuck up there on Everest.
Dang.
That feels like a you problem. No one
Oh my
made you
God.
climb the tallest mountain on the planet, and they made me seem like I was a real jerk for that. So the question is, should we feel
This
bad
is
for
not the
people
same-
who get stuck on Everest? I obviously feel bad for the Sherpas or the people who have to work in there in the conditions that, like, they don't have a situation to be out of it. But if you're just like some
But this is the thing that people
44-year-old
do.
investment banker and you get stuck up there, I don't care, man.
But this is
no one
what-
made you go up a mountain. That's a risky thing.
But this is what people do. This is what people do. This is like not, this isn't just like this. You're acting like this is if somebody decided to go and
You jump out of a plane without a parachute. I don't feel bad that you're scared.
It's not the same thing, though. I don't think it's the
Yeah.
same thing at all. You're making it seem like it's somebody that's on a high-rise building that is trying to climb up one and then needs rescued. That is them being an idiot.
That's the same thing.
It's not because
that's
Mount-
the dude. That's
it
the
is
same
not.
thing. You actually might be safe
No.
for getting up a high-rise building.
No,
than getting up
Mount Everest. It is. There are. You said it. Sherpas. People spend thousands of dollars to have the proper tour or not
Training.
Have a training and guide to go up there like that. While it is a very dangerous activity, yes, it is something that is a part of the economy in that part of the world, in that country, for them to do. It's not the same as you illegally climbing. It's not illegal to climb Mount Everest. It's illegal to just randomly start climbing up a high rise.
I'm just. This is an optional thing. It's an optional to climb up the high rise. It's optional. No one's making you get up a mountain. Yes.
Well,
It's the same thrill-seeking.
it's
behavior
optional for me to go on an
that I'm not-
airplane. Would you not feel bad if somebody got in problems on an
Hold
airplane?
on. That's different.
It's
That is an
optional.
expected-
It's optional
That is an
for me.
expected level of safety. Now you've taken it too far. Climbing up a building does not. Climbing up Everest does not. Being on an airplane has an expected level of safety. Climbing up Mount
Someone
Everest
said it's
does not.
$60,000 to go through the proper channels for Mount Everest.
Oh, your sister did it? Congratulations to them as well.
$60,000.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Cody, you also, the amount of training that you have to be in a certain amount of shape to do it.
Yeah, I don't think I could get.
This
up
is
that
also
hill.
not the same. Someone brings up the submarine thing. This is not the same even as that.
Yes, it is.
No, they were on an experimental submersible they knew that was like
No human is meant to be on Everest, man. You need oxygen just to get. No human is supposed to be that deep in the ocean.
Yeah, my drive to
And
work
certainly
today was
no
technically an option. I chose to drive.
No, again, you're taking it to the small part, and I'm talking about things that you are choosing intentionally dangerous activities.
So Cody, you just want people to die then?
No, that's not what I said. I said I
Cody,
don't
wait,
feel
hang on.
bad.
Cody,
I wasn't
when-
following it every second, finding out whether or not they got rescued from Everest.
Cody, when you repelled from Arrowhead, I'm sure Arrowhead wasn't built for you to repel off of it. So I think that there was an option
Drew,
there. And
again, both
if
of you guys are so.
But if
we are
you got
talking about
stuck-
significantly different differences.
I don't think so.
In the
If-
danger of the activity.
If you
You know how
got stuck-
dangerous it is
Cody,
to
you-
go up Mount Everest compared to rappel down Arrowhead.
you,
we're talking
you,
30 million times.
you could
less
die in
dangerous.
either situation.
No, but Drew, I could die now. See, now you two are taking it too far. I could die in any situation. That's just saying I shouldn't feel bad for anybody.
Cody told on
I'm talking
himself,
about
though.
an intentionally, intensely dangerous activity that does not need to happen.
you can
under
still
any
feel bad for them,
I have
though.
to drive to get to work.
You can
I don't
still
have to climb Mount Everest.
you can still
You can
feel
still
bad.
have some empathy. You can still have some empathy. You told on yourself though when you use the investment banker as the example. You don't like it that a bunch of rich people are just playing around with nature and risking life.
You're messing with your own
That's
faith.
that's what it
that
is.
has nothing to do with me.
I do think.
What about when you were on that blimp?
It's inherently not dangerous. When's the last time someone died on a blimp?
Well, I can look that up for you.
Probably the Hindenburg.
Well, that's what I was
That was the last ever time. No one's died on a blimp since.
Last time a death on a blimp.
It's a mixed bag on the text
Wow,
line. Some people do agree with
unfortunately.
me, some don't.
Yeah, 2011 it looks like.
2011.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Regardless of how you feel, though, Cody, I do think you should feel bad for them.
Dude, they
You
have
should- you
to
should
walk
feel-
past a
I
graveyard
understand.
of dead bodies to go up the mountain. Please do not compare it to my drive into work or rappelling down Arrowhead. Drew, if I had to rappel down Arrowhead, which I've done twice now, if I had to rappel down a sea of dead bodies to do it, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. And you should feel significantly less bad for me if I got stuck.
I guess I just view it a little bit differently because so many people have done the Mount Everest thing. I view it differently. This isn't David Blaine like, hey, freeze me in, underwater so I have no oxygen and see if I can survive for 12 hours. If David Blaine would have died during one of his stunts, then I would have said, hey, F around and find out.
I wasn't rooting for them to die. I said I just don't care that they got stuck.
Yeah.
That's on you. What did you expect to happen? You're on a giant mountain. Snow sometimes occurs. As of December of 2024, approximately 7,269 people have successfully climbed Mount Everest of the 12,884 attempts.
Someone says the problem is they weren't actually climbing Everest. It's not climbing season. It's the fact they were hiking around. Cause Everest is a normal mountain. You climb down up to 15,000 feet, and then people camp for a week because they have to acclimate back to breathing basically all over again. So that is the random question of the day. Someone says, so Cody doesn't feel bad for the hikers of Mount Everest yet. He wants to dress up as Chiefsaholic on a credit union remote. Smooth, LOL.
I've been told I'm not supposed to do that, The text lines, in fairness, the text line's very split.
It is.
There are people who agree with me.
In general, I agree with your assessment of hey, if you're going to do something really, really dumb, you can't be surprised you got in a dumb situation.
And I'm saying this is a really, really dumb thing.
And I'm saying that I actually don't think climbing Mount Everest is considered anywhere near the same because so many people do it.
I don't know. So many people?
It's $60,000. It's a whole process.
7,000 people in the history of time. I don't know if it's that many people.
That have made it successfully, not that have attempted.
12,000 it said it attempted, or almost 13,000.
Someone says you're comparing it to Russian roulette. It's not the same.
I did not. I don't think I compared it to Russian roulette. That might be the Titanic submersible was certainly more dangerous. But it is far closer to going on that thing than it is me rappelling down Arrowhead. Those aren't even close.
What would you rather attempt? Climbing up
Everest.
one KC place or whatever, or trying to hike around Everest.
One KC. Just give me whatever.
No equipment though. No. You're just free climbing. Nope. That's what the people.
Well, no one's gonna. I'm gonna die either way.
Well.
If I'm on Everest, do I have the Sherpas? So
Yes.
So I have all the stuff there,
Yes.
or I just have to decide to free climb. Well, then I'll choose the pros. But if I get to train for both,
that's the point.
No, it's not the point. I get to train and have
That's
a Sherpa
the
for
point.
one, and I'm stuck on my own like just some idiot climbing up the thing.
But that was my exact point though. That the person that you're
that
saying
guy trains. The guy who trains to climb up KC1 place
he doesn't
trains
train.
to do it.
Not
Yes,
all,
he does.
No, sometimes these people are unfortunately not in the right
Nobody's
state of mind.
climbing up halfway up a
Are you
building
kidding?
with no training.
It's
No
not
way.
always some protester.
No way.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't think it's always a protester. I think they train to do it.
Not always.
If you can find me a single example of just a crazy person got 2/4 of the way or 3/4 of the way up a building and had never trained in it before, I'll be impressed, I guess. But again, you were saying it also implies that nobody's ever gone up Everest with zero training. I'm sure someone has.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That's the random question of the day.
I think it would be awesome to do Everest though. You'd have to get into shape for it, obviously, but doing Everest would be incredible.
No, thank you. Not even. And
I have no interest in doing that. By the way.
Zero. None.
Yeah, I have no
None.
interest.
I got more interested in making my own Uno game like Billie Eilish drew than I got in getting at the top of Everest.
Can you imagine though? It would. I guess personally, it would be like a flex, I guess, to say that you're one of the 7,000 people that did it, but to get a picture and literally say, I'm literally on top of the world right now. that's.
I don't know, man.
That would be
60
crazy.
grand
by the way,
of training
Drew is more likely.
For one photo ain't worth it for me.
Drew's more likely to do this than anybody on this show, actually. Based on some of the recent Instagram stories and stuff, Drew is way more connected with
I'm still convinced.
the earth and stuff these days.
Drew, I'm still convinced you're going through a midlife crisis at almost 30. I think your
I'm
30th
almost there,
birthday
yeah, 11
There's been a lot going on.
I think your 30th birthday is hitting you mentally like a sledgehammer. I
No.
think that's what's happening. I think that's why we've seen a behavior shift.
There's been a lot.
And I think 30 is weighing heavy on your soul.
I've been on this type of energy though for a couple of years now, but I'm not sharing it as much as I'm sharing it now more. I guess.
Maybe that is it. Is the
way that
last 4 months, anybody that we work with you, so we see you on a daily basis, but even on Instagram, whether it's by the way, I'm not even saying individually some of these things are bad things to be doing. Working out, nothing wrong with that. Nobody's saying you shouldn't be running, but the showing the running. The drawing your own self drawing, Drew himself drawing, and then just the motivational quotes and the difference in change in music. Something has changed in 3 months, 4 months. That's all.
And it seems like it's coinciding very directly with when you're about to turn 30.
I think that's more timing than anything else. Somebody wants me to use AI to get a Cody on to show he climbed Mount Everest and see what AI would design that as.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's no situation in which I'm climbing Mount Everest.
Someone says, "Can Drew take the rain?"
Stay in the rain.
If you listen,
stay in the rain.
Stay in the rain. If you listen, yes. I'm just reading the text. If you listened yesterday, that's a good callback.
Yes, it is.
All right. Up next, let's get to a Fan Club Friday. We're on remote, so it's a little tempered down, but we will have Fan Club brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We'll talk more about the Tush Push. We're expected to hear from Andy Reid. We'll get to a snitch line Thursday, which should be a wild one considering the week we have had. That's next.
Get those ready.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trey Smith. You're listening to Cody and Gold weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
This fall, refresh your home with a special offer from Westlake Ace Hardware. Enjoy $10 off bin interior paint gallons October 1st through 31st. With an easy-to-apply, easy-to-maintain formula, Bin Interior offers an introduction into the beauty and durability of Benjamin Moore premium paint. Hurry into Westlake Ace Hardware for this limited-time savings and keep your spaces looking beautiful for years to come. Offer valid in-store only, so visit Westlake Ace Hardware today. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Don't you just love an NFL Sunday? You got your boys, your couch, your snacks, your favorite games, and FanDuel is sprinkling in something a little bit extra. This isn't just a normal NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your favorite go-to player prop, and they're making it even better at FanDuel because they're bringing the bonuses. That's right. All customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. So however you play your game, FanDuel's got your back when it comes to putting a little extra into your account, because that's what Sundays should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to download the app and get in on the action right before kickoff. And remember, FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan and also the NFL. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get help with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Bud Light and Tanners are teaming up to make every college game day legendary. Every Saturday, rep your college team, catch every play, and enjoy $15 buckets. Only at Kansas area Tanners locations. Bud Light and Tanners. From the stands to the bar, your game day headquarters.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step?
Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers Slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology? Well, Glide Step Skechers Slip-ins has got it, and you need it. Just step in. No hands necessary. And instantly your shoes are on. No bending down, no touching. It takes putting on your shoes to a new level of convenience. Whether you're running errands, walking the dog, or on your feet all day at work, Glide Step keeps you comfortable from morning to night, all with the ease of slip-ins. Plus, Glide Step Skechers Slip-ins are available in styles for men, women, and kids. From casual to athletic to work footwear, even sandals. So you can get the comfort of Glide Step anywhere, anytime. Put some major spring in your step with Glide Step hands-free Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. We've got a massive weekend of college football ready for you, as well as the NFL games, of course. Sports are all starting up. Hockey, NBA basketball is coming back soon. So is college basketball. All of it is happening. The MLB playoffs, all of the players that we root for, no matter the sport, have to be ready to go when it matters most. You should also be more confident where it counts. I'm talking about Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and date nights just got longer and better for everyone because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. They're licensed medical providers. They work with you to find the right ingredient for your prescription to make you feel fantastic. Be ready when she is. It's not just about performance either. Give her group chat something to talk about because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ. You just got to cover $5 for shipping. That's it. BlueChew.com, promo code KFNZ. To get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
It is a Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co., and we are on remote today, so it's more of a happy hour vibe here on a Friday. We are at Community America Credit Union in Raymore off of 71 in Foxwood, hanging out. The tailgate officially has come to a close, but we had a ton of fun out here. We'll be broadcasting till 2. We've got another Red Friday tailgate coming up in a few weeks at the Blue Springs location. But if we were in studio, I could tell you this, the cocktail of the weekend. I saw you were getting ready to make this one last night as well.
That's right. Sometimes I like to get a little preview, of what cocktail we're going to do for the fan club in a given week. This week it was their Whippersnapper.
All right.
So more bourbon drinks, but this one's got cold brew and Cafe Amaro, which is a coffee liqueur. So it feels like kind of an after-dinner-y drink. So the way I did it, and of course it's got a couple of other ingredients. The recipe will be up on their website, but it's called a Whippersnapper. But I mean, a little simple syrup, Cafe Amaro, the whiskey. Like a good, I feel like it's getting into the right season
Fall,
for it.
getting a little chillier.
Yeah. Plus, I like, I drink coffee not super often. I drink more tea, but I do drink coffee. I like coffee in a cocktail. Like I like an espresso martini or those kind of things. So that's it. Whippersnapper today,
Make sure you go to your local liquor store to pick up some Rieger bourbon. Also, I tell you guys all the time, if you haven't been
I
out
got them
to
in the team stuff. The bottle I poured from yesterday was a Missouri one, in honor of their game against Alabama this weekend. I poured a Missouri bottle of bourbon. Is that a good or bad, Drew? What do you think?
I mean, look, you're a part of the Missouri school
Missouri
system.
guy.
I feel like you're a Missouri guy, so yeah, I think it fits.
I'll stick with the Electric Park KU cocktail for going Team Allegiance there. But no, Rieger, you got to check out the Hey Hey Club if you haven't already, and their entire Electric Park area. It's an awesome facility.
Do you know what they do for Halloween?
Does K-State have a theme cocktail?
I don't know that they've got one.
Oh, see, man, that's
Give
tough.
them time; they'll get there. Emal will have their time. The Missouri ones came first, and then I think the Kansas ones came second. So they're probably just kind of working through them during Halloween time at the Hey Hey Club. Do you know what they do for that?
I do
They make it all Halloween themed. It's called the Hell Club.
That makes sense.
They got all kinds of themed cocktails for it. It's a great time. Like if you like this kind of year, if you like the spooky macabre stuff, they turn it. I'm not kidding. They turn it into the Hell Club, and then they do all the theming based stuff based on the Halloween stuff.
That's
fun.
cool.
It's very cool.
Text line's convinced that the drink today is named after Drew.
Because he's a whippersnapper?
Text line 913-586-7965. We are going to hear from Andy Reid in just a minute or so. Obviously, everybody keeping an eye on that presser today because we're hoping to get some official word on Xavier Worthy right now.
Don't have any injuries for you. Everybody practiced today. Worthy was back, moved around good. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Lions. Good football team. And, Dan's done a nice job with that crew, as his coordinators have. Good players and so on. So it should be a heck of a game. Time's yours.
Andy, barring any changes from learning today, you expect Xavier to be available tomorrow or Sunday?
Yes.
No limitations or restrictions on his workload?
No, and we'll see how he did after this. I mean, I'm telling you that. I haven't talked to him, but he did everything today, so to see where he's at.
So you're expecting Christian Fulton might be available for this game too?
We'll see. See how it goes. Yeah, he moved around pretty good. So see where we end up with all that.
Okay.
All right, good.
Not limited at all in practice today. Did everything, assuming there's no extra, issue after practice that pops up tomorrow. Xavier Worthy's playing. That's what Andy Reid said. On Sunday night, also, Christian Fulton, he said, we'll see. So that one seems more iffy, but Xavier Worthy's playing in this game on Sunday night. And it sounds like what we suspected it was, which is more yesterday was hey, we're just going to kind of take it easy. And we'll give him one day to rest the ankle. And now he's back at it today.
I got to say, there is part of me that's like, Fulton has easily been the biggest swing player where I can't figure out in my head exactly how much I think he matters for the team. After week 1, I was like, he matters. After week 2, 3, and 4, I'm like, well, I don't know, man. They're making this all work. Look at Jalen Watson go. Mm-hmm. And then after week 5, and then watching and looking at the season stats of Shamari Connor, I'm back on no, actually, I do want Fulton back, and that's going to make things easier. So, I know that I've been a bit wishy-washy on this one, admittedly. In the end, I do think that Christian Fulton matters. And I think he matters because he allows Trent McDuffie to be in the slot, which is where Connor's problems are. His problems are not coverage or safety work or those things. His problem are coverage in the slot. And that's where he's getting beat, and that's where he's getting picked on. And so if Trent McDuffie gets to play more there because Fulton's on the outside or vice versa, that certainly helps. So I hope at some point, especially for this game, I will say, though, right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown's doing all the heavy lifting for them. Laporta's been good, but nobody else on that team. Jameson Williams not putting up huge numbers.
You definitely have to watch, though. You know they're going to take a shot or two deep with Jameson Williams. He's their deep threat. He's their speed threat. Amon-Ra is their do-everything guy, great route runner, one of the best in the league. But Jameson Williams, that's somebody that you're going to have to really watch down the field for this game. And then, of course, Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield as a receiver, too. As much as we talk about him running, out of the backfield as a receiver.
I kind of forgot receivers could catch passes because of the last few years in Kansas City.
I know.
It's so weird. 4 years ago, Gold, do you remember how we used to talk about this being the best screen game of all time? Look at this team and the screen passes. How was that not a part of their offense?
They had one drawn up against Philly, and
Would have been a touchdown.
That was the Pacheco drop.
with the athleticism of Kingsley Suamataia, with the athleticism of Simmons, and Creed, and someone needs to explain to me how the screen game is not. And the screen game to running backs or faster wide receivers, it seems like they run more screens to Travis Kelce than they do the speedy guys. I don't know. I can't make sense of the fact it should be a bigger part of their offense, right? It should be. At some point it feels like that'd be something they unlock. And maybe that goes to they've been throwing more to Rashard Smith lately. Maybe that is one of the things, we talk about in this game, Gold, that they can, unlock and gear towards that we haven't seen in a while. Maybe there is something there for them in finding that. And I hope so. It's good news on Worthy, I'll say for
Worthy's
sure.
to go. Anybody we're good to go now on that end. Andy Reid saying he was a full participant at practice today. So for those of you not only just looking at the Chiefs, but I know a lot of you were texting in fantasy football stuff. All that is all in play. Everything is good to go on that end. Let's talk a little bit about last night and what occurred between the Giants and the Eagles for a bit before we get to a snitch line Friday. We haven't had one in a while. You can start sending those in to the text line, 913-586-7965. Something that you've witnessed this week, recently, something you did, something you want to get off your chest.
Something you saw Drew do, whatever.
Anything. Yeah, it could be anything. 913-586-7965. Maybe you're his neighbor. Whatever it may be, let us know. That's coming up in just a bit. But
maybe you've been talking in your group chat about different things that have been taking place in Drew's
give her group chat something to talk about, right, Drew?
Yeah, that's right. She wouldn't do it.
Either way, get them in. 913-586-7965.
Last night, there's a couple things. We can get to the Cam Scatterboo stuff in a bit, but 4 straight tush pushes, Cody. 4 straight rugby plays.
Know, man.
False starts that weren't being called. An injury that occurred on the Giants' defense because of it. Eagles get a touchdown eventually. They also did not score the rest of the game. They were outscored 21-0 from that moment on. The tush push, you know my feeling, and I know people disagree with me on this. In general, I don't think it's a football play. It's boring, so I want it out. I get people saying, well, that can't be why you don't want something. Okay. How about the fact that officials still cannot officiate the play properly? They do not get the false start call correct at all. They ignore it. And I know we can slow it down, and it makes it seem so easy when we have replay, and it's way tougher for the rest to do their job than we make it seem. However, if that's the case, then you cannot allow the play. The NFL, after the Chiefs-Eagles game, said, oh, yeah, point of emphasis, we're going to watch this closely. BS. The hell? You haven't done a damn thing.
I just, it's at the point now where I think the Eagles know that it's dead. And Gold, so they're just they're going to squeeze every last ounce out of this damn thing. Four times in a row? At this point, the whole point of sports, like it or not, is entertainment. That's why they have made, and I would tell you, every sport makes rules, Gold, to make the sport more entertaining.
Yeah, the shift went away.
The shift went away. I don't want to watch a 3.5-hour baseball game. So we get rid of it, right? You change things in sports to increase. You add a 3-point line to make things more entertaining. That's just how it works. This, having to watch them line up, stand over there, try to get them to go offside 78 times, watch 2 guys false start multiple times, and then watch them push forward 6 inches at a time until they're in the end zone. Pass. It's so unenjoyable. I actually do think you can cancel things for that reason. But if you're an Eagles fan, you're like, oh, just because we're good at it? It's not that. It has nothing to do with you being good at it. I assume you'd be fine in a QB sneak. I'm assuming you'd be fine with Saquon Barkley. I don't care.
And that's what they'll do next year. Someone texted in that's a Bills fan in Kansas City. I appreciate you listening to the show. Said, are you okay with the refs helping the Chiefs but not the Eagles? Suck it.
What a random text.
What a random text. I'm assuming you're trolling, so I shouldn't have read it on air. Congratulations. But I think the funny thing about that text is the Chiefs have been the second most penalized team over the last 2 years. So this idea the refs help them is also BS. We've gone over this.
They also had rules changed to overtime to
and I can tell you, this isn't
Bills.
this is not just Kansas City talking about the tush push, okay? This is everybody outside of Philly agreeing that either the play is boring or most people now are like, all right, they should be able to do it if they call it properly, but they can't. Therefore, it is cheating. That's plain and simple. If everybody acknowledges that they're false starting, the league says we're watching it, but they're saying it happens too quick.
They still aren't willing to call it.
And they can't call it, then it is a play where they are cheating that has no way to be caught. Congratulations to the Eagles. Use it the rest of this year. In March, it's getting banned. It's done.
Yeah, I thought it was done after the Chiefs game because everyone in the broadcast were highlighting the issues with it. But, I mean, if it wasn't done then, it's certainly done now because multiple games, primetime games where they're doing it and everybody can see that they're committing the penalty.
Look, all due respect to this person as well. Thank you for listening to the show. As a Bengals fan, I can also say this. Worry about your team getting to a Super Bowl first before you start complaining. Please, I promise you, it's not worth it. Please.
The Bills get to the Super Bowl in their history a couple of times. They haven't won one, but they've been.
Yeah, to Drew's point, did you see the funny tweet after the Bills lost to the Patriots?
No.
A Bills fan responded to a Patriots fan, said, "This was your Super Bowl." They're like, "Oh, so you're 0-5 now?"
Wow.
Which was a great response. It was a great response back.
Look, it's not even that.
So good.
It's not even that long ago that the Chiefs were in that situation, right, where people can make fun of them for their one Super Bowl a billion years ago and everything else, and maybe try to get to the play. They spent 20 years not going to the playoffs in Kansas City. It's not – I do not care about I know it's hard because we're in Kansas City, so people are going to think that it's like some retribution because they beat him in the Super Bowl or some version of it. What I'm saying is the collective NFL fan base is over it. The broadcasters are over it. The rules officials are over it. It makes the referees look stupid. They're probably tired of it because every time it shows another one that they don't call, they're like, hey, man, you planning on doing anything? Coach is on his ass the entire time. We see it every time. Coaches get over there. The other interesting part of that game last night from the officiating thing is how about Dable yelling at the doctor to clear Jackson Dart's tuner? I can't.
I mean, it's a bad look. It's a really bad look. The team doctor and also the independent. You're talking about a concussion protocol. Jackson Dart goes to the blue tent. It's an independent doctor. There's a protocol there that nobody should interfere with the doctor doing his job. That was bad. He apparently apologized right there on the sideline because he knew he screwed up. But it tells you how bad he hates Russell Wilson. 2 plays of Russell Wilson, and he was going nuts yelling at the team doctor to get Jackson Dart back on the field.
You can't do that. He's going to get fined big.
You think?
And the Giants are going to get fined big. Yes.
People were tweeting out the CTE Giants last night.
You cannot. This goes back to we just talked about with the $100,000 that the Cardinals coach got. You cannot have a coach in a league in which we care about player safety. You cannot have a coach screaming at the doctor to get his player in sooner. The visual goal. I don't even care if they still follow protocol. The visual on it alone is going to get everyone hit so hard. And I got to say, the funniest moment, and I feel bad, partially just because they're people and sometimes sports and we lose that a little bit. The idea that Russell Wilson came in, threw 1 third-down pass that was woefully short because it seemed like he thought the wide receiver was going to stop, and they started booing him. Oh, my God. Gold.
Well, everybody wants Russ to be done over there.
Somebody said they started to think if you were a Giants PR, you should actually get Russ in for a series a game because it's only going to make Jackson Dart more likable from the fan base because insane that he got in for a few plays and they immediately started booing Russell Wilson. That game had everything, didn't it? 4 tush pushes, coming out party for Cam Scattaboo.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart and Cam someone was pointing out they were in that. You see that post-game video of them barking at each other essentially?
Yeah, they were rubbing heads. They
Someone said these two talk like
bumping heads.
Pit bulls. And it's just
so they're 2 frat boys that are playing football for the Giants right now, and they're having some success, and it's all good. Somebody in the text line said, "Who cares about the doctor thing?" The NFL does. The NFL already is investigating it. So the guys are complaining. I'm just telling you, it became a national story last night.
You can't yell at a doctor on the sideline.
Talk about stuff that is relevant, and it's to act like it's a nothing burger. I think is incorrect.
Somebody did have a good point. I saw this tweet yesterday. I think it's a fair point. Someone said Cam Scattaboo is not going to make it to a second contract, so he's just going all out now, which is great to see. It's very entertaining, of course.
He's doing what he did at Arizona State. Anybody that watched him play,
he's going at it, man.
Max effort, max energy. That's the style of play for Cam Scattaboo. There's no doubt about that. All right, we will get to what's trending here in about 15 minutes or so, but it's that time in the show where we get to the snitch line every couple weeks right now.
The Snitch Line.
You learn the 2 greatest things in life. Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
Where snitches mostly get away with it.
You are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
The Snitch Line on Cody and Gold on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Already snitches coming in. I like it.
913-586-7965. You got something you witnessed, something that you maybe have done as well. You can anonymously text into the show. Who was it? College football said they're establishing their own snitch line.
Yeah,
this
they
all
did.
started all the way back with the NBA bubble.
NBA COVID bubble. where
NBA
they wanted
COVID
the
bubble.
players to snitch on each other.
That's exactly right. All right, so a few people have texted in, as you said, Cody. Which one do you want to start us off with? Someone
From the 913 said, my former IT manager told me he was fired, but what he did was actually quit. He said, I can't believe he treated it that way. Is that bad? So, I don't know. It'd be worse if it was the other way around, wouldn't it? If you said you quit but you were fired?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be way worse. I agree with you there.
That seems like light, mild, not too bad.
Someone said they're snitching on their company for keeping a dude that's been in 3 wrecks on board still. He's a liability. Now, I need to know what is the
what kind of job?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he drives.
Yeah, he drives on behalf of the company. It does seem like a liability.
And over what period of time? That's
is
also
he
what I
friends
wanna
with the boss or the owner? Why would they not?
Is he like a nephew of the owner or something? You got to let us know. We need all the details on the snitch. From the 785, I pay the card restocker Walmart $20 a week, and he sneaks me all the Pokemon and sports cards I want out before he restocks the shelves. I resell them on eBay. I made $28,000 last year doing it.
Yeah, this has been a thing.
So they had to get it off their chest.
Yeah. He's not stealing the product. He's getting access to the product before it sells out. I think that's how I took that. I don't think he's saying he stole the product. He's saying that he knows when the stuff is getting stocked and he has somebody else,
Wait, do you
he
have a
slides
problem
a guy
with that?
$20 a week and makes. Hang on a second. I need to
Playing the game.
I
feel
want
like
to do
this
some
is like-
math now.
I feel like this is like this is kind of like how we treat
He's
cheating
still
in
buying
college football.
He's still buying.
He's still
the
buying
card.
the product.
But also, he the
Oh, he's cheating the
restocker
system.
is cheating the system. He's not stealing. Drew, I think you were trying to say is he spending $20 to make 28,000.
That's what it sounds like.
No, he's probably still spending 15,000 or 20,000.
He said $20 a week. That's not bad.
No, but he's got to buy the product still.
But he said he made 20.
It sounds like
So I would guess that that's
I
his
don't know.
profit.
I don't know if we're just seeing
You
it.
pay this guy $1,000 over the course. You pay him $20 a week.
Yeah.
52 weeks.
And
You
then
pay him $1,000
yeah.
for 28 grand. That's a worthy profit.
Follow up to the previous one about the driver 3 racks. Someone says the dude's been on a month. I trained him, told him he wasn't going to make it. Imagine if he's listening. Someone says, yeah.
Oh man, he's only been on a month.
If that's the same text, yeah.
Is this the one that says he's a limo driver?
Oh, limo driver.
And he's gotten 3 wrecks.
Two different texts, by the way. Sorry,
okay.
but somebody said limo driver. Yeah, we're not going to read that one about your coworker Jeff, but that seems disturbing from the texter. Yeah, I would say that's bad. That's bad. Someone says, "Father Cody, Father Gold, forgive me for I have sinned."
Someone says they're snitching on Dusty for having no Riz with the Twin Peaks girls.
Oh,
They're saying they're claiming that's what they said.
Huh.
That's what the
All
text
right.
line said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I'm just now seeing the Jeff one.
Someone said snitching on their coworker. He's trying to sleep with another coworker. This will be awarded because he's her superior at work. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Jeez.
That's a problem.
No good.
Basically the boss
So
sleeping
good.
with that's a problem. Not that we're not acting like it never happened, but that's a problem. That would be an HR problem, to say the least. Someone said they were hanging out with their neighbors, hanging out with my neighbors, drinking beers with them. Sorry, text is jumbled. His wife showed me her. She later asked how I thought it looked. I'm not going to tell him that she did it. It looked.
What?
I'm not going to read the rest.
Yo.
Don't read the rest of it. But you could do this. Someone wants
You can't tell. By the way, no. You like. What do you do there? Can you tell your buddy? Hey, by the way, your wife did this.
I think I tell.
Because if he finds out from her, I mean that's a tough spot.
If he finds out ever
spot.
again, he's going to think you hid it from him.
Yeah,
he's going to think you're both guilty of it.
Now
You didn't do it.
Now nothing happened.
I mean, something happened, just not something after
So
that.
you're saying you tell your buddy, hey, by the way, your wife flashed with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what do you think your buddy like? If I came to you and said it to you, what would you say?
I'd be like, thank you for telling me, and then this is a
You would
conversation with me
you would
and
be
my wife.
mad at me?
What did you do in this
Well,
situation?
but you think someone's going to act
I
normal?
would ask a follow-up in the, like, can you explain the circumstances? Like, she
Right.
walked in the room, she should have been like, okay, man, I'm really sorry she did that. I'm going to go find out what's going on. Someone likes to get old snitches out of the way from the 816. When I was a kid, stayed overnight at someone's house for a church event. One time it had a pin sticking in my pocket. Pin rode over the couch, covered it up with a pillow, and then we left that day. Ooh. Man, it is tough to be the that reminded me, like, we did the draft party a year ago or 2 years ago. I can't remember which one it was up at the Landing. A guy I hung out with I went to his house and stayed overnight. his parents accused me
here's
of
a good one.
breaking a rule. I didn't know I was breaking, and I didn't do it. I didn't steal anything. But he sided with him. He's like, yeah, he definitely did it. And then he admitted to me after 20 years.
You told us the story on there.
I was like, that's what it feels like when you're a kid. I was like, what a treat.
This one 913-586-7965. It's a Snitch Line Friday on the show. Someone says they took out $1,000 from their vacation account. I'm assuming their
okay.
Put 500 on the Dodgers. They won winning, and 500 on Detroit winning. Already put the 1,000 bags. Like, jeez.
Honestly,
oh boy.
Should you not put the profit in there too? Save up for the vacation.
No, he wants
man.
the profit in it. He was using the family vacation money.
Fund.
Yikes! Hopefully you don't do that all the time. Be careful with that.
This one just made me laugh. From the 206, there's a guy at work we call the Toilet Ghost. He hangs out in the handicap stall eating Funyuns.
Wait, what?
What?
I think I have some questions as well as
You
you guys.
can't eat in the bathroom. That is the last place in the world.
Yes.
Gross.
That part.
Is just it's
sick behavior.
Also,
gross.
How do you know it's Funyuns?
Well, maybe they saw the wrapper.
I think that's got a distinct odor.
Okay.
Oh, you think it's the smell?
I think. I think. I mean,
there's worse
Funyuns
smells
have
in the bathroom. So
yeah,
fine.
but I think that. I think that you could probably pick out.
Someone says you guys need to snitch on Drew for the topless photos. Oh, we have talked about those already.
Many times.
Plenty of times. No snitch line
I'll
needed
snitch
for
on
that.
myself for those, obviously, because I'm posting them. You know.
Someone says, by the way, no, you absolutely do not tell your buddy that your wife flashed.
Really?
Why?
That's from the 816.
Wouldn't you want to know if your wife was randomly flashing people?
Yes.
I think I'd want to know that.
Yeah. Well, someone else said they had an affair with their boss at work. Okay. From the 913.
Somebody claims they're going to.
Someone says it depends. And someone says it depends with the wife story. They said if they're very impressed, tell them, hey, good for you, dude.
Make it a compliment.
Jeez.
I will say my brother's ex-fiance, been a billion years. But when they were together, and I don't even know if they were engaged yet, but when they were together, we were playing badminton out in front of my mom's place at the time, and she flashed everyone her top, and we were like, "Why are you doing that?"
You said
my
your
brother was
mom
there.
did this?
No, my brother's ex-fiance.
Oh, sorry.
My brother's ex.
I was like, wait.
My brother's ex-fiance did it. We were at my mom's place in front of everybody. He was there too, though, and I was like, "That's a weird thing to do. Why are you doing that?" It was a very wild thing at the moment. That eventually ended in a fight between my two brothers.
I've seen this text twice.
One of the others.
Okay, which one?
From the 913, snitching on myself, bought some vape, and I know I'm not supposed to due to health problems. Man, that's tough. Yeah.
You gotta
it's
cut
going
it
to cause
out.
some serious issues,
you gotta stop
it's going to
him.
cause some serious problems,
Yeah.
then you definitely shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
The taco guys are officially leaving. Gold.
Yeah, those are very good. Thanks to Taco Cacao for being the food truck today.
Yeah,
at the
really
Red
good.
Friday tailgate. That was awesome.
Hard shell or soft shell?
Oh,
street tacos, man. They were really good.
Onions, cilantro.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sauce.
There you go.
Very solid.
Up next, we'll get to what's trending. Then I want to talk more about Camp Scattaboo and what it means for running backs in the future in Kansas City. Plus, our game predictions. It's a Red Friday. We got to predict how this thing is going to go down Sunday night. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Obviously, we had football last night. We've got football coming up this Sunday night for Kansas City. And over at Underdog, it's the best place to get in on the action. And you can select entries and win money right now on the Missouri side. Make those selections higher or lower than your favorite player's stats. And so, I like Kelsey to go higher than his receiving yardage this week. And you can choose those yards, touchdowns, interceptions, so much more. And you can mix and match sports if you want to get on the baseball action tonight as well. As we've got a couple of playoff games Friday and Saturday. Playing on Underdog is easy. You download that app and make those selections, like I said, get those entries right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your money with pick'ems and champions, streaks and ladders, and so many other different versions to play. You get whatever style you want at Underdog. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Download the app today and sign promo code TAP, T-A-P-P, to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_DHTML for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh. You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
For over 30 years, we've been crafting more than jewelry. We've been crafting love stories. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, where our jewelry tells a story, your story. Unlike big-name designers mass-producing so-called exclusive designs by the thousands in overseas factories, we create one-of-a-kind masterpieces by hand right here in our shop. Our custom designs are just that, custom, designed and crafted with you, for you, and only you. Every custom ring, pendant, or bracelet from House of Diamonds is as unique as the person wearing it. And also, unlike those big-name designers, we'll never use lab diamonds to pad our profits. I've watched prices of lab diamonds drop 90% in the last 2 years, but I'm pretty sure those big designers are still charging the same or more for that big name and designer box. Real stories deserve real diamonds, and one-of-a-kind love deserves one-of-a-kind designer jewelry. Come to House of Diamonds for over 30 years on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
We are back here on Cody and Gold. It is a Fan Club Friday, but we're out and about today, so more of a happy hour. But Fan Club Fridays are brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. The Whippersnapper is the drink
That's right.
of the day.
Bourbon Cafe Amaro, both obviously like a coffee liqueur from Jay Rieger. Had a little simple syrup. Great setup. Put a little orange slice on there. It was a good after dinner. I put the big ice cube in there.
There you go.
You know, really,
Big rock in there, huh?
Well, it makes it feel like a, like it's like a restaurant cocktail. That's what I like about Rieger and some of this other stuff. You can go there and have excellent cocktails. Like I mentioned, you can go to the Hey Hey Club, which they do around Halloween stuff this time of year, or you can pick up the stuff from the store, get Jay Rieger anywhere, and make the cocktails at home. I like it in the big ice cube, the garnish. Make it feel like you're having a cocktail, out a little bit. Sometimes you don't feel like going out. You just want to drink at home.
We'll be back in studio next Friday. We'll be having a couple people stop by and hanging out as well. Don't forget, though, in a few weeks, we'll be back out at the Community America Credit Union Red Friday Tailgate. Thanks to everybody who came to the Raymore branch today. Had a ton of fun hanging out. Casey Wolf, Chiefs cheerleaders, Chiefs Rumble, chance to win. 2 people won tickets to the Chiefs and Lions game. And so on Halloween, we will be out in Blue Springs, one of the branches there in Blue Springs. So looking forward to that.
You know what that means, though? I'm going to have to play a bunch of Halloween playback music.
Could.
Yeah, I think that's going to be
could,
it.
Drew.
Especially if Cody's dressing up as Chiefsaholic.
I halfway expect. I mean, at this point, based on your recent trends, Drew, I'm halfway expecting you to dress up as Chippendale or something like that. So for
that will not happen. No.
You're going to have a bow tie and shirtless and put oil on your chest and put it on Instagram. That's where I think we're trending.
Oil on
Are you going to do anything for Halloween this year, Drew? You guys do anything?
Traditionally, we decorate the apartment complex. Or we decorate our apartment a little bit, and we go out to dinner just to hang, and then we just come back and just eat a bunch of candy ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. We'll get to our game predictions coming up in just a couple of minutes. I wanted to talk more about Thursday Night Football and the Eagles-Giants game. Not the tush-push stuff, but Cam Scatterbo, who had his coming-out party yesterday. He's fun to watch. 3 touchdowns, 98 yards. He runs with so much energy, and he was a 4th-round pick. And so on one hand, you can view it as, all right, the Chiefs missed the boat, should have drafted running back higher. You and I thought that heading into the draft. They didn't. They drafted Brashard Smith, who I think if he continues to get more work, can actually be a really nice weapon for them. I also think watching Cam Scatterbo do what he did, watching Amari in Hampton, watching R.J. Harvey, the Woody Marks kid down in Houston. I can go on and on through a bunch of these rookie running backs that have had.
Yeah, there's a lot. And nobody's having no one's leading the league in rushing.
I mean,
they got 3 in the top 10, 4 in the top 20, the rookie running backs versus where they are.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about Ashton Genty. Okay, he was a top 10 pick. Nobody's arguing that.
You can't get him.
However, it gives me some confidence these other names that were picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that are having an impact that next year when the Chiefs need to go back to the well and find a running back in the draft, every year, Cody, there are running backs that get picked around 3 to 5 that end up having an impact for a couple years. We all know Pacheco was a 7th rounder, had an impact. Brashard Smith, they haven't used him enough yet, and we'll see what he ends up being throughout his career. But as much as I'm frustrated seeing Cam Scatterbo do that, it also gives me some hope, I guess, for next year's draft. That I do feel like every year there's plenty of running back options.
Yeah, I guess it's like now we get to choose. And watching Scatterbo, I can either choose to be annoyed that Cam Scatterbo was available in the 4th round, Gold, when we would have been fine with the Chiefs taking a running back, and he's clearly going to work in the NFL to some degree. Or I can, look at it in the positive as in the run game's not a disaster. Like the combination of it just has no juice. It does not have explosive plays. That's not where you're going to get the explosive plays on this offense. Now, however, Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy and hopefully Rashee Rice, they have places to get explosive plays that aren't the running back room. So I don't have to send myself into a panic on what they have available in offense. I just know that they're not coming from there, which is where I want them to come from sometimes, just to as a way to complete the circle on it. But, yeah, I do think that you can always find a running back somewhere else. My thing is, I honestly think all teams wait too long sometimes. Like, Tyrone Tracy's a great example. You're trying to make him happen for you too long in New York. Good you took Cam Scatterbo.
He had his, in fairness, though, what is it, a year ago? He was a rookie last year, correct?
Yeah.
Was Tracy?
Oh, no, so maybe not him.
He had 3 or 4 good games. His fumbling problem, all of a sudden, for him.
And then you go find another guy, and you let Cam Scatterbo. Like when the Chiefs drafted Isaiah Pacheco, and they got a good rookie year out of him. That was not a good time to just be like, now it's Isaiah Pacheco. 7th-round running backs. What they've gotten out of Pacheco, that's an anomaly. That's not going to last forever. You should constantly be taking new running backs.
The question we always have is, hey, and it's not always a complete direct comparison based on where they're at. Like, someone texted in, would he be doing this in Kansas City? And I think that's always something, whether we're talking about quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, just because someone has success somewhere else does not mean he would have the exact same production here. Like, I'll be honest, if Cam Scatterbo was drafted in the 4th round, I don't think he'd be getting 15 carries a game for the Chiefs. I don't.
No, because they already signed
It's what
Kareem
you said.
Hunt.
It's what you said. Pacheco would have had to be hurt for that to happen, just like Tracy was hurt for Cam Scatterbo
They were
to
in
get
a
that opportunity.
timeshare until
Yeah,
that.
but I also think the kind of the order or timeline of events when the Chiefs re-signed Kareem Hunt, we said, oh man, this means they're not going to draft a running back that high, and they drafted one, but not until the 7th round.
That's
and
not high at all.
So once they signed Kareem Hunt, I don't know if we'll ever get the answer how interested they ever were in Cam Scatterbo or Amari Hampton. To me, once they did that, that told us they were not planning on drafting a running back high.
No, I agree. In retrospect, I don't know how we can view it any different. They waited until, in what was declared by draft experts, one of the, if not the deepest, running back draft class ever, Gold, ripe with them. Like 48 of them taken in the first 4 rounds, it felt like. There were a million available. And look, they're not all going to work out. All these running backs, all the ones that were taken, they're not all going to be the goods. You still have to get the pick right.
Do you buy at all what we saw against Jacksonville? Big, longest run for Hunt in 4 years, longest run for Pacheco in a year or so.
No, I don't think they're going to do that again this week. I think they just had a good game on the ground.
I do think that's the formula, though, not just because it worked. I mean,
using everybody.
Yeah,
sure.
15-plus carries a game, split it up. You and I both want Brashard Smith, though, to be more involved in the running game, not just the passing game. But in general, I think that what we just saw last week, even though it was Mahomes that led the team in rushing, in terms of individual performances from Hunt, Pacheco on the ground, I kind of think that's as good as it's
I think it's, if your question is that best case scenario? Yeah, Cole. Maybe a little bit more in the yardage game where Mahomes runs less and they run more. It's so weird because in that game, the run-pass differential was still so out of balance. But if you're passing that well, do I really care if you run, Gold? If you're protecting and every pass is going for 7.5 yards a play, the hell do I care if you run? I didn't come out of that game, Gold, saying I sure wish they ran the ball more. No, they were passing with ruthless efficiency. That's where this game's going to be really interesting on Sunday. Can they, against a very good, much better than Jags defensive line, still protect? And can they, that part, but then if they do protect, can they beat up on their secondary that is injured and missing a lot of their talent? Because that's inevitably what's going to decide what happens in this game on Sunday and whether or not the Chiefs win. Should we get to a little game predictions? Do you guys want to predict the MU Alabama game too?
Yeah, let's do a little college.
Or
do a little college as well.
Let's get predictions for all the locals and KU for this one. We've got a little more time than we normally do on a Friday because just me and you. Didn't want to make someone come meet us out here at Community America. And thanks again to Community America for having us out here. Obviously, it was fun for the Red Friday tailgate. If you missed this one, October 31st, Halloween, we'll be out in Blue Springs for the next Red Friday tailgate. Let's start with the locals. K-State, they got TCU. This is one of those. I actually think they'll get the win, Drew. I think they'll probably win by 10-13, largely because they are desperate. Yep. I think that K-State is a very good program, and they are not desperate very often. I still like the coaching staff. I still think they've got a very good quarterback. He was good in that. He was almost perfect in that last game until the mistake. And so, I don't know. I'll take, maybe not by 13, but I'll take K-State by a touchdown. I think they'll win.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take TCU. Yeah.
TCU are 2.5-point favorites, at least on ESPN's app. On ESPN
yeah, I think FanDuel is down to 1.5 from what I can see. TCU minus 1.5. They're on the road. I think Hoover is very, very good at quarterback as well. they'll be able to move the ball on Kansas State. Dylan Edwards not being available again is a big issue in terms of explosiveness for Kansas State. I think it's a close game as well, but I'll go TCU in this spot.
This one's really tough. So I think Kansas State. Man, I can't even remember what I picked on the podcast. Actually, I think because it's so close. I think Kansas State will play with an amount of desperation. I think they win the game, Cody. I think it's close. It's like a field goal at the end or something like that. I think it's
another one.
I think it's really tight, but I think that if they lose this game, then there's going to be a real reckoning, I think, at the start of next season, trying to figure out exactly where they need to go. Because if they go 4-8 or 5-7, I mean, it's a big problem.
I don't know, man. I think I just respect Kansas State's program enough.
I think they're able to win.
They're not going to let
tomorrow,
it in.
Yeah.
With a good quarterback and a good coach, I don't think they're just going to let an entire season slip away.
Yeah.
They are a lot like, Drew, and this is a great comp. They are almost identical to how I felt about Kansas last year. And I think at some point, Kansas State will win a bunch of games or win more games, and then maybe they'll lose the wrong one and finish 5-7 or 6-6 or something. But I still think there's winning with that team. So
yeah,
I'll take them. Kansas, that's the second least impactful game of the
weekend.
weekend.
6:30 kickoff down in Lubbock. Texas Tech, top 10 team in the country. 14.5-point favorites. I don't think Kansas wins, but I do think they can keep it close just based on their offense. To me, Jaden Daniels and the creativity on offense, they'll be able to put up some points. I don't think they can stop Texas Tech at all. Kansas' defense is not any good. I think it'll be a pretty comfortable lead, but not 14.5 comfortable. I don't think Kansas is losing by 17 points to Texas Tech, but it's not going to be a 1-point win for Tech either.
No, I don't think so. This is tough. Kansas's defense this year has had a couple of tough games, especially against Missouri was probably the one where it felt like they couldn't get it together as I would have assumed they would have gotten it together. And yet, I don't know, man. I feel like Texas Tech is going to score in this game.
Total for the game, 58.5.
I would hit the over for that.
Of all the locals in this game,
both teams are moving the ball.
I am the least confident in Kansas's ability to get a win this weekend. And the spread reflects that.
For sure.
So
I think they can cover. I think they
can
cover, but yeah, I would be thrilled if it'd be a massive upset, maybe a top 10 win on the road. It'd be a massive upset for Kansas, and it would put them in play for the Big 12 convo again. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Gold. I think KU covers. I think that Kansas is good enough to hang, but I think that in the end, unless Kansas is going to have to repeat a sort of defensive performance they did last week against UCF, they're going to have the best defensive game they've had all season, and we haven't really gotten an inkling of that, especially when facing an offense like what Texas Tech has. So it just feels like Texas Tech is better, and I think that's how they win. But I think KU is able to keep it close just because of what Jim Zabrowski and what that offense and Jalen Daniels have going for them. So, unfortunately, KU loses, but I think they can hang.
All right, let's get to Missouri and Alabama. 11 o'clock kickoff there in Columbia. Top 15 matchup. Alabama 3.5-point favorites. We kind of went back and forth on this earlier in the show. You guys know where I stand. I think these are two very, very good teams. It's going to be an awesome football game. I do like Alabama minus 3.5. I think Bernard and Williams will be able to find some spots there defensively against their defense in the secondary. Missouri will run the ball. I just don't think the atmosphere is going to be as big of a factor as people are making it out to be. Mizzou was able to get it done against only two offenses during the stretch that have thrown the ball all that often successfully, and that it was South Carolina and Kansas. I think the schedule at the end of the year is very difficult
Kansas
for Missouri.
put points in that game.
But now is when the schedule gets tough for MU, and they can still get to the college football playoff with a loss. This is not in their hopes or anything. They win it, and then they're in amazing shape. But I feel pretty good about Bama covering the 3.5.
I think Missouri's going to win. I think Missouri has the better defense, and I think how about this? I think Missouri's offense is closer to Alabama's than Bama's defense is to Missouri's. And I'm not saying there's a large gap between either, but I do think Missouri is the more complete team. And just as long as Prebula and Hardy play at the level they have played all year, I think they'll outscore Alabama. I don't like them obviously like them to cover because I like them to win.
Sure.
But I don't think they're going to win by a mile. I think it'll be a lot like Alabama's game last week against Georgia. And it'll be or
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, against Georgia. I think it'll be in that 27-30 range, 27-24. I think it's probably a 3-point game when it all settles out.
Yeah, I think that Missouri has got the talent, maybe more so. I feel more confident in this team, and I don't know. I think it's Bo Prebula. Obviously, the injuries play a factor in it, but it just feels like this team's got an identity of we are legit, and we know it, and we're going to go prove it week in and week out. And like they haven't been in any real I mean, the KU game was the closest one they've had, but they've destroyed the other teams like good teams are supposed to. You know, they're not letting other teams hang around. I did look at this. Alabama's ranked 70th in the country in rushing yards allowed per game on the road. They allow 228 rushing yards on the road per game.
Seems like that's good news for
I think that
Hardy.
favors Ahmad Hardy a little bit more maybe than I thought originally. I still feel like Bo Prabula to beat them is going to have an Johnny Manziel type of play moment where you're like, yeah, that is a Heisman type of winning play, and I think the Tigers are going to win this game.
Yeah, Ty Simpson, one of the front runners there at the top of the list.
He's
of
so
odds
good
for Heisman
He's
as
so
well.
good.
Someone says, "Wow, KU fan picking Missouri." I just picked Kansas to lose as well. I mean, what are we talking about? That has nothing to do with that. I just think Alabama's better. We'll
Homer!
see. I could be wrong.
You were disguising it.
That's right.
I was saying, did you choose them all to lose? Did you have Kansas State?
All three of them.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like what I mean.
Are you picking the Chiefs to lose too? Then?
All right. Yeah, go. Chiefs lose to the Lions by what score? What do you got?
No.
So fast,
Not so fast, my friend. Let's get to that Chiefs-Lions game. We've been talking throughout the week. We obviously got the good update today. Xavier Worthy is going to play. Was limited or not practicing yesterday, not limited today. That's huge here. I think Kansas City, and you're right, we're going to find out really who they are Sunday. I'm going to bank that they are still one of the best teams in football, and they have played their best football over the years when their back's against the wall and when they're facing a prolific offense. Their backs are against the wall a bit here. They're trying to avoid going to 2-4. They're playing an offense that's the best in football. Patrick Mahomes and his offenses, when they go up against teams that average around 35 points a game, they outscore those opponents by 9. They elevate their game. I think Andy Reid, Spags, everybody elevates their games normally in this spot. And I think that happens again. It's also at Arrowhead. Sunday Night Football, going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. I cannot wait to get out there. Chiefs win. I don't remember the score I gave Kramer, so I apologize. What the hell did I tell him on the score? 35-31, 34-31? I think that's what it was.
Somewhere in that range. Okay, so I feel very similar in this game as I did about the Ravens game. I hem and hawed a lot of the week, trying to decide who was going to have win, and I'm like, I don't know, and it's close, and I was factoring in the Chiefs are at home part of it and all this other stuff. And after all that, I came to the decision the Chiefs were going to beat the Ravens, and they killed them. And yet on this one, I'm going the other way. I think the Lions are going to win the game. For the first time in what feels like a billion years, I am not predicting the Chiefs to win on Sunday. It is easy to choose. I chose them to win all 17 games last year. They went 15-2 in the regular season, so I was pretty accurate. I chose them to win all the playoff games. They did all but one. Most of the time, I think they have the decided and noticeable advantage. Some off. The Lions, I can make an argument, have a better roster and a better team. The only advantage in which they have are quarterback and coach. Not saying those are small.
Lions secondary is banged up too. Let's not forget.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying clear advantages. If I were factoring in all defense, because their pass rush is so much better than the Chiefs. So all defense, all offense. I think you have to individualize it to coach and quarterback, and I like their coach and quarterback. I don't think the gap is the same as some of the other teams that we talk about in that regard, and so I picked the Lions to win 30-27. I was trying to be honest with myself, and I felt like if I chose the Chiefs, I'd just be telling you that to tell you that.
Okay.
Rather than do it. I could be wrong.
Anti-Chiefer, as the morning show used to say. An anti-Chiefer.
I'm allowed to predict the Chiefs to lose.
Anti-Chiefer.
I'm allowed to predict the Chiefs to lose every once in a while.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a tough
game. It might be
game.
the first time in a year and a half I predicted them to lose a game. Should have predicted them
You're
to lose
probably right.
3 this year, I guess.
The last time I picked them to lose was the Colts game 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They won that game, didn't they?
No, they lost.
They lost. You're right.
Matt Ryan, remember?
Oh, Matt Ryan.
Chris Jones, Matt Ryan thing. All right, Drew.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so my score prediction is not going to be the same as the social media videos you're going to see.
Huh? Why not?
Well, I was trying to. I flipped Bob's score for the
You
Lions.
flipped Bob off? Oh.
No, I did not. Bob traditionally says Chiefs 35-0.
He said in the video he's saying 35-0 Lions.
Yes, which is not the way that I think it goes. I just told Kramer to put it down that way. I think it's 31-24. Lions win this one. I think they end up getting a stop late.
You just predicted every local team to lose, including your own.
Yeah.
I'm the truth teller. This is what I think happens in the game.
I think the Lions win. Yeah, I think the Lions get it done 31-24. And I don't know. If it was – okay, so if they lose by a touchdown and they score 24, obviously it's not enough to what we think maybe beats the Lions. But what do you think the feeling is? If they lose by a touchdown.
They're not on par with those top-tier teams anymore.
Yeah. That they are in the NFL wash. They are not a part of the elite.